3, 2,
Wee woo.
1, go.
Gee golly gosh, Glorioski, thought Mary Sue as she stepped on the bridge of the Enterprise. Here I am, the youngest lieutenant in the fleet, only 15 and a half years old. Captain Kirk came up to her. Oh, Lieutenant, I love you madly. Will you come to bed with me? That kind of girl. You're right, and I respect you for it. Here, take over the ship for a minute while I go get us some coffee. To receive the Nobel Peace Prize, the Vulcan Order of Gallantry, and the Tralmafian I said that wrong. Order of Good
Tralfamadorian.
Godhood.
That was A
As
Trekkie's Tale
written
by...
what was that? A Trickie's Tale?
That's what it's called, A Trekkie's Tale. Hold up. I forgot who the author was.
I can't believe that's the fucking origin of the term Mary Sue.
Paula Smith.
It is, and oh my god, I read that.
That is the
Twice.
origin of the term, and I want to shoot Paula Smith in the fucking face.
She created the Mary Sue. Now, let's go
Without
ahead.
even meaning to.
Let me go ahead and explain to our audience, whoever that may be, what a Mary Sue is. A Mary Sue is a character archetype characterized by being perfect at everything. The universe and story bends the rules of reality to make them look better, to favor them, or let them succeed. If you know a character that fits the description, congratulations, they are a Mary Sue. So, yeah. For some reason my thing isn't working here right now.
So this is going to be a fun episode.
Yes, it is.
Oh, absolutely.
I would
Okay.
like to inform this wonderful cast that we are running knee deep through the murky swamp that is the delicate topic of Mary Sue.
Yes. So, I
Delicate
don't
is
know
saying
exactly
nicely.
how to
Yeah.
proceed from this. So let's just go ahead and go down the line. Crown,
You know what?
do you... Oh,
Yeah, I know what I'm gonna do on my turn.
okay.
Well, I know you're gonna at least
Crème,
introduce
my
herself.
co-host, please give me your thoughts on the existence of the Mary Sue.
They suck.
Wonderfully said.
Mary Sue's and Gary Sue's, they suck.
They're the same
That
thing.
mouse working. Now that we got that from Crème, Javi?
Well, I think we've all made a Mary Sue at some point, even if we haven't realized it. Does it make it any better? Not really. But if you learn from it and you actually do take the time and energy to make better characters if you want to. If not, that's understandable. If it's not your thing, I ain't judging. But if you are serious about making characters or storylines, you want to avoid a Mary Sue like the fucking plague. And this is coming from someone whose personal favorite character before being redesigned was a Mary Sue. I'm willing to admit that. But you
What
know what?
character was that?
I got my all-time favorite character I've ever designed, being one of the first iterations of Verloren.
Come
A little
on,
bit,
don't be
a tad
shy.
on the
Give his
Mary
last
Sue
name.
side. His last name changed so many times. I don't even remember what the fuck his original last name was.
I was hoping you would.
I got, there's so many, dude. I'm not gonna bother keeping track at this point. I keep track of the new version. That's the important thing.
Are we still
Alrighty.
progressing? Sorry, real quick. Are we still progressing through your story
Yes.
quests? Okay.
At the moment, we are. Okay, so
But yeah,
that was Javi.
everybody,
Jesus.
TLDR, everybody makes a Mary Sue at some point. Don't be afraid to make one. Just if you're trying to be serious about storytelling and stuff like that, just know that it's a stepping stone and it's the only way to get better.
Uh-huh.
Mr.
Okay.
It's a bridge you
Jesus
have to cross.
I just learned what a Mirisu was like an hour ago. So I don't know many of them, and I hope I don't
What do
know
you think
more
of Mary
about them.
Sue's?
Oh, I think they're okay if they don't affect me. I think they're fine.
Beautiful, lovely. Samarra.
So here's the thing. I think that, like Javi said, everyone creates a Mary Sue at one point or another, and it's okay sometimes to have like a Mary Sue, like just to be like funny. Like for instance, we want to talk about Mary. I mean, if you want to talk about a Mary Sue just to make it like a comedy,
I would
Mary
make
example of
the
a
Sue
good Mary
and not
Sue.
have a Mary Sue.
I would
Well,
like to
Here's the
make
thing.
the argument it's not a true Mary Sue if the character actually has a personality aside from I am the best and everything is easy.
yes,
So
and
I'm
actually,
gonna
I would
bring up.
say
Here's the thing.
if
I'm gonna argue with that. I'm gonna argue with that because technically, here's the thing. A Mary Sue can like be a character who actually thinks low of themselves. So, for instance, I'm gonna bring up another Mary Sue that I do consider a Mary Sue, but I wouldn't consider them a bad one. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen a show called Mob Psycho 100.
Nope.
Great show.
Yes,
I
love
have.
him.
Mob is technically a Mary Sue, but at the end of the day, he looks down at himself. Now he goes crazy when he's angry,
Okay, but
but
here's
then
the
there's
thing.
also characters.
He's not a Mary Sue because he's not good at everything, and the show makes a very clear point
that is true.
of
In
that.
terms of physicality,
He is very
does
bad
not.
at
Yeah,
physical acts, and the show makes it a point that he's trying to better himself in that regard.
yeah, that is true. I
Mm.
would, and in that sense, with Mob, I'm gonna actually have to agree with Crème. I don't think he really
A Mary
qualifies as
Sue
a Mary
does not
Sue.
have to actively try to improve something. They are just good at it because the plot deems they need to be.
Yeah, or even if they
So
never
does
had
that mean
any
One Punch
like.
Man?
No, One
No,
Punch Man had
no,
actually
no,
he
no.
had to build up to get that
Saitama
strong.
actually worked himself to the point where he made himself bald. So no, that he does
That
not
is
Yeah,
count
different.
as a Mary
in the
Sue.
Okay.
case in the case
Not
of
only
Mob,
that,
I
but
can see
there
the original
are
argument because
yeah.
Mob from birth was extremely gifted with psychic abilities. But that gave
Mhm.
him his flaw because he never needed to use his body. So
Yeah,
starting out from birth as what would have been a Mary Sue actually led to him not being one because he
So
underdeveloped his
basically,
body as a result.
he's basically the result of being a Mary Sue at birth.
Yes, he's the result of
Okay.
starting as a Mary Sue and letting that hinder your development.
His starting class is Mary Sue, and now he is a weak boy with a very strong mind.
Yeah,
He has
Indeed.
evolved.
because my point was that in general, and this isn't necessarily the truth, its entirety. But a Mary Sue is often not a fully developed character. I think anyone
Yes.
who's seen Mob Psycho 100 will say Mob is a very well developed character.
I would agree.
Hmm. Well, yeah, but like I'm saying that sometimes there can be like Mary Sue's that are actually good. Like the point is like I'm like even like they can be used as like a comedic effect. What I can't stand are characters. I'm gonna bring one up. Kirito. Kirito is a Mary Sue to the point of the like irritates me because literally the world bends to him. He is the
Yes, I would
main
agree on that one
character.
actually.
Any female character that comes across him gets added to the harem. I mean, shit. Even his sister, or not sister, or whatever.
His
Stepsister?
cousin
I,
who
I don't
grew
know.
up thinking
Cousin.
she was his sister. It's
That's
complicated.
the one. The point is that like that is like that is my point. But I think the reason I hate Sword Art Online, I mean I hate it for a lot of reasons, but I think I hate it the most because Kirito is the definition of a Mary Sue to the point of where it's almost grating. Like you want to
Again, though, I
also
would argue he's
you
not a
want to
fully
watch him
developed
suffer.
character.
That's the
He's
thing. He
he's
isn't.
neither.
He suffers from main
His
character
his
syndrome, where his personality is main character.
That's the point. He is. That's the reason why I said he's a Mary Sue. He has nothing. He has nothing, literally. And like, but he somehow is this amazing character, and everybody loves him. And I'm like, why?
I think a good
Why? I
quantifier
want
is
him to
with a
die.
Mary Sue. If you take away them being good at everything, do they still have anything left as a character? Kirito has nothing
Kirito
left if
doesn't.
you strip away him being good at stuff because he's
Yeah.
good at it. Mob
Mm-hmm.
Psycho, if you take away Mob's telekinesis, there is still a character under that.
He's a good boy. That's the thing. He's a weak good boy. Like, but the point
Uh,
is, like, I can't stand Mary Sue's. And I think what's worse is that thankfully there's not that many in anime nowadays. It feels like they kind of gone in my personal opinion. I feel like
There's
they've
still quite
got
a few.
I don't know. Like maybe it's because I've gotten very picky over my anime lately, and I just don't
Yeah,
watch stuff like that anymore.
Yeah.
screams
But
in the distance from a particular anime I refuse to watch.
there's several anime like that. You're gonna have to like go into deeper
There is
terms.
still a lot of
Like,
anime that have
It
like
is a color and a plant.
a
what?
color.
Black
and-
Clover? Oh,
Yep.
Oh,
I've actually never seen it. I
Screaming,
was told
a
to watch
color,
it, but
and a
I'm
plant.
I also have
here's
never seen Black Clover.
here's the thing. I had a lot of people tell me to watch it, but I don't think I will because it just I don't know. It just looks like
Black
fairy
Clover.
tale
It doesn't
mixed
seem
with
like it's for me.
Naruto to me. It doesn't look like an actual original
I've
plot. I
seen
mean,
a little bit of the first season.
I'm
you know
just
what you
not
guys should
interested.
go watch? You should go watch Made in the or Into
Made in
the Abyss
Abyss.
or
Made
whatever
in
it's called from
Made in
the Abyss.
It's
Abyss.
made
I just
in
did.
abyss.
Made in the Abyss. That
Made
show
no,
is so good.
Samarra. There's
Made
no
in
the.
abyss.
It's just made in
Made
Abyss.
in abyss.
Made in
Also
Abyss.
has one
Thank
of my
you.
favorite characters, Bondrude. Best dad.
Now,
Ah,
uh, for my thoughts on a Mary
Subarashi.
Sue, it's coming up in the sound is coming up in a little bit. Just come on, come on, come on, dude.
Mitty.
You can't just you can't just not
it's okay,
say it.
Jebus. We're here for you.
Okay, so my Discord mic
I
didn't
actually
pick it up,
did shed a tear.
but my Twitch mic definitely did, and you guys will get to hear that in a little bit once we're done with this.
Okay.
So yeah,
I'm gonna go close my door. I'll be right back.
okay.
You do that, Mr. Lord Jebus, man.
I'm sorry, that all I heard was it's free real estate.
It's for real estate.
Real estate.
That sounds like a
It's for real
something
estate.
else.
So,
It's for real estate.
oh my fucking god.
What? Mine?
Both of yours combined was terrifying. That's the
I'm not here to
newest.
talk about
That's
your private side of
that's the
quarantine.
terror radius of the newest
It's free
character.
real estate.
Oh
Real
my
estate.
god. Working on the generator.
You're working on a generator.
It's for real estate.
Yo, that's what it's like to uncloak behind somebody's Wraith.
It's for real estate.
Real estate.
Do you think Jimmy Neutron's that?
Okay, so Mary
No,
Sue.
I mean,
All right,
no, because
guys.
Well,
Let's-
maybe.
Let the man speak.
we got our all the pretty much the same opinion on Mary Sue's, and that is fuck Mary Sue's, unless they're jokes and written to be jokes. But yeah, that's an entirely different thing. Let's go ahead and
A
talk
good
about
parody is always an excuse.
yes. A Trekkie's Tale is not a good parody at
That's
all.
not a parody, that's a tragedy.
So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about some Mary Susan fiction we have in fact come across that we don't like. Let's go ahead and start with my co-host, Mr. Creamy Boy.
Alright, I'm sorry to literally anyone who wanted to claim this one, but I was born and raised on the source, so I have to. Ray.
I'm also going to claim her
Ray
because
from
I
Star
was
Wars.
also born and raised on this.
I was too, but surprising that's not the character I was gonna go with.
I do have
I was
another
I
thinking
just
on it.
character.
have to because it is painful.
I do
to
have
me.
We have
another
to talk
character
about her.
in
I'm not a-
mind that I'm going
I'm
to
not
talk
a Star
about
Wars
as well.
fan.
But yeah, so we
Yeah,
got
I'm
Ray
taking the cheap fruit.
Ray Skywalker Palpatine.
Palpatine.
What?
Who
Palpatine.
deserves neither of those names.
Yeah, just
Now,
Rey.
I will say outright, Ray and a lot of the characters in the sequel trilogy do suffer from the flaw of they did not seem to have it all figured out when they were coming up with stuff for this trilogy of movies. And then they also like changed directors and changed their mind about things, and that made it even more disjointed than it already was.
Yep.
But
The
from the
sequel trilogy
get-go,
was screwed from the start.
yeah, from the get-go, Ray was already a Mary Sue.
Yes,
And
she was.
not just a Mary Sue, but a Mary Sue copycat as well, where the character was designed as a, new version of an already existing thing, but because there wasn't good enough reasoning for it, became a Mary Sue in the act as well. Because the sequel trilogy, especially episode 7, is just the fucking original trilogy. Episode 7 is literally just A New Hope.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
They basically tried to make, oh yeah, this is just like Anakin Skywalker and Luke Skywalker. Except
But a girl.
a girl. Because, women
I
can be
think-
powerful too.
I
I
think
love feminism, I do, but just making a chick a girl and then making her a Mary Sue detracts from your argument.
I think
Yep.
it should have been a very clear warning sign when they were overhyping the fact that the new main Jedi is going to be a
So
girl.
it was like, oh yeah, we've never had a female main character before.
It's
I
a matter of
mean-
like, if you want to see great examples of female Force users, Ahsoka Tano started as a Jedi, became a Grey Jedi.
Oh,
Honestly, a
best
very
character.
well written, powerful Star Wars character.
Ahsoka is a very good
If you want a bad character that is female, bad guy character that is female, Asajj Ventress, badass assassin.
Oh,
Darth
I
Talon
love
is also a good
Ventress.
one.
My point is, Star Wars has had its examples of well-written female characters that are as powerful as the other characters in Star Wars.
Yeah. Or if
You don't need
Or
to
if you
just
don't
go,
want-
oh yeah, Mary Sue.
yeah, or if you don't want a like a Force user, there's still other options. Like you've got Sabine Wren, you've got Padme Amidala, you've got Princess
Yes.
Leia. There's options.
In every piece of material, there is always a powerful woman. Like you
Hey,
said,
guys, I can beat all of
original
them.
trilogy had Leia. Sequel
I can
trilogy
beat all
or
of that.
Prequel had Padme.
Go on. Prequel.
I was gonna say, you all want to talk about a strong female character? Why don't we talk about Anakin Skywalker's mom?
Boom.
Like,
Boom.
for real.
Shmi Skywalker. Shmi is a
Like, you
better.
wanna talk about
Shmi shows up only in like 2 movies and for not very much screen time. Still infinitely better than Rey.
literally,
Indeed.
like, and if you, they go into more detail about her in the books, but at the end of the day, like, she literally took care of her son and got to the point where it pulled him out of slavery by herself, married a man, and then because she knew that her son was coming, because I think honestly to this day, my theory is that she has latent force powers, would not shock me. But at the same time, gave birth
Or they
to a
got sucked
whole
into
line of
Anakin.
Jedi. Like gave birth to a whole line of Jedi.
Yep.
Like for real.
Actually, they did
Only
go
2
into
movies.
some depth on the birth of Anakin. Basically, Palpatine and his master Darth Plagueis were trying to create life through the Force, and then the Force shouldn't work that way. And when they tried, they failed, and the Force punched back, and then created Anakin, which is why he had such a high midichlorian count and why he was just such a powerful force in the Force right from the get-go and all that stuff. But
That's the reason why
unlike Rey,
Palpatine, after he found out that Anakin was born without a father, was like, hold.
Hitler!
oh,
Oh!
He's like, I see, but inside he's like jumping in his seat. Like, he's like, I did it. Yeah, but like,
We will watch over
I
your career with great interest.
or destroy your career with
the
great
dark
interest.
side
But
of the Force is a pathway to many
To
abilities some
many
would consider
abilities, some consider
to be
Unnatural.
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 but the point is that like a Mary Sue, and it's not just it's not just Ray though. There's a lot of people that are trying to make these so-called strong female characters in media, and it's like okay, I understand what you're trying to do, and I appreciate it, but at the same time, make them not a Mary Sue. Like Ray was a Mary Sue.
Indeed.
A strong female character and have them be a good character.
Yes,
Because
please.
Ray's writing was
arguably
literally.
better.
Because, again, with like my point on, a Mary Sue is either very underdeveloped or just poorly written. From the get go, Ray's character was literally just, I don't know who my family is. I want to know who my family is. Whoever my parents were great with the Force because I'm so good with the Force. I don't even have to try. I can use high tier abilities with Force on the first try. I can use Force abilities that pretty much nobody has ever used on the first try.
Force healing.
Yes.
Ray's literally like that meme of the guy screaming at the camera, "Where are your parents? Do they know where you're at?" Like he literally, I feel like she's the embodiment of that meme because she
Because you're not
wrong.
literally, yeah.
I want to use this to say one of the few complaints I have about Star Wars as a whole, which is Star Wars
Jar Jar
makes
Binks.
it seem like a very important, story note is it doesn't matter who your family is, or anything like that, or what your background is. You can make yourself into the hero. It preaches this message while subtextually telling us it matters very much who your background is and who your family is, because especially with with Rey, that was even more obvious. Of like they make it seem like, oh, she's a Skywalker, she's so great because she's a Skywalker. Nope, she's a Palpatine. Doesn't matter. She's still great because this person gave her the lineage. I would have actually been slightly less pissed off if it was like, no, she is just genuinely from someone that doesn't fucking matter.
They
Yeah,
tried to do
you
that in the
know,
She
second
has to
movie.
be tied to one of the major characters.
Ryan Johnson
you
tried
want to hear
doing that in the second
something?
movie.
You
He
want to hear
tried.
something that would have been even better?
So,
You want to know something that would have even better?
so
If Ray wasn't the main character.
I
If they
know.
had made
Honestly, Poe
made
would have
any,
been a much better main character.
I was gonna say Poe. Poe was the one that was the ex stormtrooper, right? I have
No,
Finn
that's
still
Finn.
now.
That's
I
Finn.
meant
Poe
I
was
meant to say
the ace
Finn.
pilot.
I meant to say Finn.
No. Finn would have been an awesome main character. And honestly, when I first saw the trailer for Star Wars, I thought Finn was gonna be the main
I
character,
did
and
too.
They
I was like,
Here's the
also
thing.
did Finn
oh,
dirty too
ex
because
stormtrooper
they
gonna become a
messed him
Jedi?
up.
I was
Hell
like,
yeah!
Storm. That's one hell of a redemption arc. Like, holy shit!
Yeah.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
Holy
scarred by the things I have done for the Empire. I'm gonna turn over a new leaf and help out the people that clearly actually need the help that I'm fighting. That I
and
was
here's the
fighting
thing.
against.
And here's the thing: they no longer clone stormtroopers, so they're all normal people, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what if it's like
Actually, in the
you make a storyline?
original trilogy, they weren't clones either.
Yes. They stopped
Oh well,
cloning
okay.
after
After
Order
Order
66.
66.
They
After
stopped
Order
making clones.
66, they didn't want the clones anymore because they were deemed a
Partially
potential
because they had
risk.
served their
They
purpose,
served
and
their
also
purpose, and they
partially
posed a potential risk.
yes, just because other
Ah,
clones were proving to adapt and like be able to break past their inhibitor chips.
Yep.
got it. Well, the whole point is like, how cool
And
would
they
it
were
have been for a
honestly a bit too
storyline?
capable as well.
Oh yeah.
How cool would it have been for a storyline? It's like Finn was an orphan who was trained to be a stormtrooper. No ties to family, they're dead. Like they were just normal people off some planet. No like force lineage. He's a brand new freaking character. Literally,
Oh
I
my
I would have
god.
been in on that. And then Ray
It
was
would have
just
been
like the
great.
storm was the person that brought him to the Jedi. And at first, here's the cool thing: what if they were like, "Hey, we think Ray's the Jedi because we could sense somebody had force powers," and in reality, it was Finn all along. But they overlooked him because he's an ex-stormtrooper, and there's no way that the Empire would ever overlook a stormtrooper with latent force powers, right?
I mean,
But
here's the
like
thing:
that
they
is
could have
so
still
much of
kept
a better
Rey as a Jedi.
story.
Yeah,
That would
they
have been
could have
so
still
good.
kept Rey as a Jedi, but Finn is a far more interesting character just from
Oh
the
yeah.
sheer amount of
Yes.
potential. And in the first movie, he was surprisingly well written.
I
He
do
was
have
a
to say
great
there is
character.
one
I
flaw
liked
with
him
his.
more than Ray.
I
Yeah.
need to point out though, there is one big flaw with his character, especially in the first movie.
Hmm.
Hmm?
And again, it ties back to that saying one thing, showing another. Because yes, at the start, he freaks out. He's like, "Oh God, I shouldn't be here. This isn't right." Doesn't fire a single shot, and I love that. That was great. But
That
not
was
even
great.
like a half an hour into the movie, after, like literally almost immediately, as soon as he decides, okay, I'm done being a stormtrooper, I'm getting the hell out of here, he starts mowing down his comrades who, just like him, are people behind that helmet. And he's sitting there hooping and hollering, having a good time, killing the people he was just freaking out over one of them dying.
Yeah, it does kind of
He
undermine
freaks out over
his
one
whole
comrade
mindset.
dying, and then he's fine with massacring them in tens.
I would say it would have been amazing to see Finn become the kind of Jedi that's like pure pacifist and actually just uses the Force to kind of like it basically to not have to actually fight, but getting the opponents to kind of wear out or just rendering them
Or at least
unconscious. Like I could see him.
non-lethality whenever
Yes,
possible.
non-lethality.
You know what would have been another cool
Like
storyline? Because
that would
I
have been interesting.
so I don't I know that I know Javi has read the book. This is the last thing I'm going to say about Star Wars. No, Javi has read the book, and I found out, by the way, Javi, the ancient Jedi were called what's it called, Typhons. They were called Typhons. That's what they were called, and the Alsha were the
Okay.
ones who became dark side. But yeah, you know what would have been cool if they decided to if they traced back and went back to Tython, which is where the birthplace of the Jedi Order is, and they're like, hey, there's one last person who's like knows anything about the ancient Jedi Order. Instead of pulling out Luke and then giving no reason, I mean, they were like, yeah, he's no longer teaching, but
They
it's
also
like
screwed over Luke's entire character with that as well.
everything.
Yeah.
And then you know
Let's
what?
just
They could have
say,
brought Luke.
chalk it up to they just fucked up Star Wars with the sequel
Also,
trilogy.
just kind of let Princess Leia die because Carrie Fisher was already dead, and still using her seems kind of disrespectful to me. But
You know what they could have done about the second movie without ever having to make a CG? By the way, I don't know if you know, the CG of Leia looks horrible. It,
oh,
it,
I know,
it
I know,
literally just
oh, I know.
it's tragic actually, and I'm just thinking, I'm like, oh my god, if this was me, I would want to die, but like, or all over again. But at the end of the day, like, you know what they could have done, because Han Solo just died, say she died of a broken heart, just like her mom.
Okay,
Yeah,
except
There
that
you
I
go.
actually have that there is actually debate over why Padme died, and it's the same thing with Palpatine probably killed her.
No,
Because
he didn't kill her.
I have seen analysis of the scene where people say that Palpatine was actually transferring her life into Anakin to keep Vader alive, and that Vader actually would not have finished the process otherwise.
are you sure you're talking about Leia? Or are you talking about Padme?
I'm
No,
saying Padme
he's
because
talking
she's
about Padme.
comparing it to Padme's death.
Oh, okay.
A lot of
But at the
people
end of
have
the day,
analyzed it and suspect that she did not, in fact, die of a broken heart.
Oh, okay, because
But the
you're.
point
Oh,
is that it could have been that still same like a bit of emotions, like she just couldn't go on. Her husband was
well,
gone. The
even
man she loved is gone.
then in the second movie, there's a scene definitely could have killed her. But then they just pulled in some bullshit force power to keep her alive. I'm like, okay, you had a perfectly good scene to kill her off if you wanted to, and you
Yeah.
didn't use it.
I
Or
I
you could have been
understand,
like,
oh, it's a major character, you have to show their death on screen. But you can just show them getting on a ship that other people didn't get on, and show that ship getting blown up, and everyone goes, "Oh no, Leia was on that ship."
Yeah, you could
or
do
even
that technically.
Here's another thing. They could have done that, or they could have done something where it was just like because they could have made a cast or something where it was like they have a funeral procession for her or something, or there's like some kind of announcement. I don't know, but like the whole series, I feel like honestly, when I think of Star Wars anymore, I think like I do think of the prequels because yes, I watched those when I was a kid, and I did watch the originals. But at the end of the day, I
Choreography was
don't. I
really good in the
return the
prequels.
oh the prequels. Like people shit on the prequels. I still like
The
the
prequels
prequels.
are
That's
really good
me.
in my opinion.
Yeah,
I
They're
like them.
very
I
good.
think my
I don't.
personal favorite is the lightsaber fight choreography. That was
Oh,
very well done.
The
Oh,
lightsaber fights were
very.
something entirely like brought
Can we
out
talk about General
by the
Grievous and
prequels.
like his
My God,
many
yes.
lightsaber
Just this
choreography?
like the
As
spinny
a
saw
child,
blade lightsaber kind of bits. I just love
So
that.
good.
I'm
And
sitting
also,
here watching every scene. Like, how did they do that? Like, but
can
it's
I
like
also like
the thing is,
can I also bring this up?
go ahead.
If you notice, the lightsaber choreography is noticeably worse in the sequel trilogy.
oh yeah.
Yep.
It is very bad. Like I've seen
Ray
people look
literally
over it.
like
There are points
Oh,
where
you
like
want to talk
in
about
the
that? It gets even worse in the shows, in my opinion. Specifically, I'm
yeah, it's
talking like Obi-Wan.
yeah, it's not. It
okay.
hasn't
I
been
thought you
getting
were gonna say Clone Wars,
much
and I was gonna
better.
have to kill
No,
you.
no, no.
I was gonna
I'm
say
not
No,
saying
Clone
Clone
Wars
Wars.
is
I mean the
great.
live action.
Yeah,
okay.
live
Whew.
action
I was
shows.
like
All
Clone
of
Wars.
the
I might actually have to murder you.
every animated Star Wars show that I've seen has been good.
Yeah, great
Oh,
with the
Rebels was
lightsaber
good.
choreography
Clone Wars
especially.
was good. Bad Batch
It's
is
much
good.
easier to work with that in animation. In live action, I get there's restrictions, but look how hard the people work in the prequel.
I mean, even Studio Trigger, who
Uh,
makes anime, made a better Star Wars than Star Wars did.
Yep.
so
Literally.
Like fucking hell.
so this became a Star Wars roast sesh.
Yeah, I am
Yeah,
sorry
Sorry.
for that. I didn't mean for it
I
to devolve into
apologize.
that.
it was a
That went
rabbit hole we
down.
were gonna have to go down eventually.
Yep. But
It's
Well,
better
let's
we
now.
just
saved
all
it for a
agree
whole
the sequel
subject.
trilogy is shit. And even if you don't want to compare it to the rest of the Star Wars movies, it was written very lazily. Rey was just a Mary Sue through and through.
We can actually have a whole episode where we talk nothing but Star Wars. I feel like we would just go on
Okay,
for
I'm just
I
gonna
hours.
go ahead
never
and cut this short right
only
now
saw
and
three
say
movies.
if you guys wanna
Yeah.
take a look at what the fight scene choreography looks like in the Star Wars sequels, go ahead and watch Shadiversity on his fight
I
scene
was literally
breakdown.
about to recommend Shad as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
Those parts where
Creme
weapons literally
saying
disappear. It's bad.
yes. There, that
Ugh.
was Creme talking about his Mary Sue example being Ray. And now let's go on to the Javi. Who is your Mary Sue example?
There's a couple that I could bring up, but this is especially close to my heart because I actually enjoy this other franchise more than Star Wars. Uh, I'm gonna have to say Captain Marvel, at least in the live action specifically.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Indeed.
Yeah.
No
It's
personality,
Yeah.
just
just strong.
no personality. Just I am strong and I'm better than everybody. This
And I have a
personality
and
even
I have
leaks
a
over
female.
into Brie Larson, the actual
The actress.
fucking actress. There's
Oh
a
my
point where she
god,
was in an
really?
interview where yeah, the actress Brie Larson, she also has been like in interviews with other members of the cast. Like it's been brought up, like in a more jokey matter, but it's been brought up that the other rest of the cast do not get along with her very well. And there is in
No,
one of the interviews
it's
where
it's very obvious.
yeah, in another interview where someone's talking to her and mentions like if Captain Marvel is capable of wielding Mjolnir. Uh, and as all other Marvel fans know, it's about worthiness, not about power. And Brie Larson's response is, "Oh yeah, Captain Marvel's definitely strong enough to wield Mjolnir."
Hmm.
That's
I
not
didn't know
what
about
it's
that.
about at all. It's
Okay.
like I didn't
I
know that's
think
how
the
Mjolnir works.
only character that can actually apply to would be Hulk, because he gets so
Yeah.
fucking angry. He is just stronger than anything else and lifts Mjolnir and then exhausts himself just getting it a foot off the ground and then immediately drops it.
Oh
But the
yeah.
thing is,
No,
they've actually
I
proven it.
prefer the method of. I think that Hulk would do the. I don't remember what fucking character did this in the comics, but if I can't bring the hammer to you, I'll bring you to the hammer.
Thanos. He picked up Thor and
Yes,
just
I
started
can't remember who he did
smacking
Yeah,
it
it
to.
was
It was
Thanos.
Thanos.
But I think this happened. I
That
don't
was
remember if this
amazing.
happened in the Avengers movie or if it happened in the comics. But I do know there is at one point Thor and Hulk are fighting. Thor drops Mjolnir. Mjolnir picks up the Hulk. Hulk picks up Mjolnir and starts pulling it off. And he's like getting more and more angry. And he
Yeah.
ends up lifting it like a foot off the ground. Kind of smiles because he got it up, and then immediately drops it again because he's not worthy.
Yeah.
He was just so strong that Mjolnir could not fight him anymore.
I also just love the idea of he tries to pick up Mjolnir, can't, scoops up the ground under Mjolnir and does the elevator trick. The elevator
Yes,
is worthy.
that's also one of the other things. I can't remember if this happened in a movie or not, but where Thor picks it back up and Hulk's response is just to grab Thor and just swing him around with Mjolnir. Like, you know what? That works.
Mm.
I think it's
Early
hilarious.
MCU
I
was so
think
great.
here's the thing. I'm gonna say one thing. So growing up as a kid, I loved Marvel. I still love Marvel, and my top three favorite Marvel heroes are Iron Man, Captain Marvel, and Scarlet Witch. It's been like
Comics
that since
Captain
I was a
Marvel, I
little kid.
completely understood. Comics Captain Marvel,
But
I understand.
Mm.
I
and
get it.
here's the thing. So when I found out they were making a Captain Marvel movie, and they're actually making the Marvels, which I'm very excited because I loved the Marvels.
I'm
But
excited
my
if it means they're passing the torch to a better Captain Marvel.
here's the thing. My fear is that, and I noticed this in the Marvel series as a whole. They've done a very good job. I'll say this: they've done a pretty good job of taking the character counterparts and bringing them to the comic, and I think that's what made them so successful. So when went to go see Captain Marvel, I was so excited. It was the first time I was going to a theater to watch Captain Marvel. Like I was so excited. And then literally I thought how they were going to do it was going to be literally showing Captain Marvel getting rescued by the Kree, being trained, like whole training montage like they did with Doctor Strange, because that's what I was thinking it was going to be like. And then it was kind of seeing her grow as a person, because then originally before she had the power, she was already a strong character, so to speak. Like she was a very
He
like,
was a good
hey,
pilot.
She was a strong
she's a
fighter
good
pilot.
pilot.
She had friends and family in and out of
Yeah.
the military and stuff.
And plus, when she got her
Exactly, like
powers, she
she
was
had
trained by a Kree superhero who was the original Captain Marvel.
exactly, but
And
they
then
didn't
the
even
title got
bring her up
passed
until
to
the
her.
but they didn't even bring him up,
Yeah.
and that was the thing that really upset me, because first of all, and instead the movie starts out and she's already like among the Kree, right? Like literally, like she's already been trained, like, and then she wakes up like, oh, I was human once, and that irritates me so much because I think that's what diminished her character, because we didn't get to see all that character development. We didn't get to see her struggle with her memories, because in the comic, she actually trains under the Kree superhero Marvel, and he is the one who teaches her, yeah, it's okay to like still be human, but you need to also be a fighter, and you need to learn how to, because at first she was like, I don't want to hurt people, I can't do that. She's like, I can't fight, I'm only one person, and it was her learning how to be stronger than one person, or be the strongest among the people, so they don't have to fight the evil. That was the reason why I
Also,
liked her character
I
so much.
I always enjoyed like how she kind of tackled her own issues. Like, for example, Captain Marvel is one of the few characters with an alcohol addiction worse than Tony Stark.
Oh
Having
yeah.
any addiction worse than
Especially,
Tony Stark is a bad mark for your rap sheet.
well, no,
It
and
got so bad. It got so bad that Tony Stark was the one to tell her, "Yeah, you got a problem."
Yeah, you have a
No,
problem.
he literally
If
kicked her
Tony
out of the
Stark is
Avengers.
recommending rehab, it's bad.
No, he literally in the comics he actually kicked her out. He's like, maybe you need to take a break from being an Avenger because the thing is that when she came back from being a Kree superhero, all of her family was dead.
Yeah,
Everyone.
they were long dead.
They were all dead. And so the people that she had been raised with, the family that she had, and the friends she had, they were gone. And so she came back, and it was a completely different world. She didn't know anything. And I feel like they really messed that up in the movie because that's what also makes her character the way she is now because she's kind of standoffish because she's scared because she doesn't
Yeah.
want to bond with anybody because they're going to just die before her again because she's
Yeah,
pretty much
and in the
immortal.
movie, it never feels like she's really
Person? Okay, I don't know what's going on with
She's
like.
Javi's
just an
mic.
embodiment of power. Oh,
Yeah. Well, here's the
go
thing.
ahead.
Physical sacrifices are hard to do with a character like Captain Marvel, but in the comics, they've always done like mental or psychological sacrifices that she has had to make by juggling
She's
all. Yeah, she's very
PTSD.
strong. She's very powerful. There are clearly other characters that are stronger than her, but that's not where a lot of her conflict lies. A lot of her conflict lies in like the psychological aspect of I have been alive for so fucking long, doing this for God knows how long, and everyone I've ever known is dead, and I have to keep
Yeah.
moving, and I
And
have to
the
be
thing
this
that
beacon of
really
hope for other people on top of all that, which is
and the
why
thing that
she
I
turned to
really
all
liked
the addictions and shit.
yeah, and the thing I really liked is that she and Tony Stark actually become really good friends, which was really sad that they didn't make in the movie. But she and Tony Stark actually become really good friends because Tony almost died several times, and he even has literally
Yeah,
he has no heart. His like he's got basically like the fusion core in his chest. It's what keeps him alive. So he understands
it's a
death
pacemaker.
more than exactly. He understands it more than anyone, and the
Nuclear
of coming back from
pacemaker.
addiction nuclear pacemaker. But the point is that like
Basically,
they actually yeah, they become friends and at some point like when he does die in one of the comics, she grieves and she actually almost turns back into addiction. And the thing is that she has to learn how to live. She basically tries to shut herself out from it, but people keep forcing to be part of her life and she just struggles with it. And I love that character about her. I didn't
yeah.
like her because of her powers. I mean, yeah, her powers were cool and I loved Kamala Khan, best little Miss Marvel ever. But
Marvel is
I
fun. It's a fun
oh,
character.
I love Miss Marvel when her and when she meets Wolverine for the first time. Wow. But
I do
no, but the
believe Miss Marvel is is a Inhuman. I want to say.
In the
she is
comics,
Inhuman,
yes.
which they
Yeah,
didn't make it in the show, but whatever. I'm
I
whatever.
do believe that the
Um,
Inhumans are finally starting to be brought back into the MCU because they did
which
mention
means
Black Bolt, who is the
mutants
king of
are
the Inhumans.
happening. Mutants are
They brought it
coming.
in an alternate universe with Black Bolt, but I think in the actual like case of Kamala Khan, I think they're using her to try and tie in the mutants.
Yeah, they are because they
The
actually
Inhumans
so
specifically.
yeah,
No,
because I actually saw
like
I
X Men
pirated the show.
mutants, not the
Oh
Inhumans.
shit.
No, they're bringing
Maybe.
the X-Men mutants because the Inhumans are what they call the mutants. That's what they're
Or is
called. They're
it's what
actually
it's well
Inhumans.
way back when they were trying to rebrand stuff because there was different properties going in different areas. The Inhumans were like a shoddy attempt at bringing back the X-Men in a different way, but they ended up
Mhm.
becoming their own thing. So they are
Yeah.
technically two separate factions. We're getting a little off topic. Point is,
The point
but
is
yeah,
that
They ruined
I'm
Captain
sorry.
Marvel.
yeah. The comic
Yeah.
version of Captain Marvel was a well thought out character that actually had personality and had flaws that were delved into. She was a person, an actual. You could feel like she was an actual person, and the MCU interpretation, be it through the acting, I guess you could call it prowess of Brie Larson, or just the writing,
I'd mostly blame
just
the
doesn't.
writing.
I actually blame a bit of both because
Oh,
the
really?
actor could also take things in a different direction.
True enough,
Honestly,
that's
If
true.
anything,
it's
I feel like it's the writing affecting the actor in the case of Brie Larson.
no, because
Well,
Brie
yeah, because
Larson does feel like an asshole. Honestly, she does strike me like
I
that.
don't know of much. I don't really know any of her work before Captain Marvel, but I could see it being like
I ever heard of Brie
She,
Larson before Captain
Outer
Marvel.
she, I, so she was
Yeah.
in a lot of other things, mostly like movies and stuff like that,
So
where it was like based on books. But she, I mean, she's okay, but like,
I
she
give it
like
this way: her biggest break since Captain Marvel is a character in Fortnite.
exactly like she's not really. I mean, she does like a lot of video game acting now too, but I don't really think the thing is I don't really
Again, I
think
wouldn't
when
call it
she
acting.
was voice acting is a thing. I will fight you on that. Voice acting is a thing.
No,
I
no,
have
no,
He's
no, no.
complaining
I'm
about
not
Brie
dissing. No,
Larson
no.
not voice acting.
I'm dissing Brie Larson, not voice act. I am a voice
okay, I was
actor.
about to
I know that
I
it's
was about
acting.
You're in a call with people
I was
who like voice acting, Samarra.
I'm dissing Brie
okay,
Larson.
I was about to fight somebody.
No. Voice
okay,
acting
okay,
is always
okay,
considered real acting. Anyway, point is,
okay.
Sorry.
I think that between Brie Larson's interpretation of what she was given and also what she was given not being very good, I don't think that the MCU version of Captain Marvel is a good character whatsoever. I think that the entire mindset behind her creation is just, oh, I'm a badass. Let's work from there, and that's not how you make
That's
good characters.
honestly a complaint I want to make when my segment comes up, but I will
I
be
will say,
saying that when my segment comes
I'm
up.
yeah, I'm very saddened that they're doing that a lot with other characters as well. Like I've noticed, I haven't seen much of She-Hulk, but it looks like they're doing the same thing with
Yeah.
She-Hulk, and that's
Oh,
She-Hulk
very.
is
I
hard.
haven't watched She-Hulk yet, and I'm scared to, but I will
It's
anyway.
bad. It's bad. Look,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I watched it because my mom has been letting me freeload her Disney Plus. It's bad. I mean
Yeah.
let
it's
let
let
let's
me
okay, hold
Haven't
yeah.
on.
seen
I
it.
don't want to talk
Wait,
Don't
about it.
know.
wait. Let's just
Yeah.
move on,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah,
Haven't seen
I
it.
said
Don't know
let's move
yet.
on.
I'm just afraid of what is in the future for Marvel because if they keep making more characters like MCU Captain Marvel, no, thank you. I would prefer the comic version
Yep, me too.
because that's an actual character.
All right.
And it's so sad
Alright,
the
enough,
degradation of it.
Javi.
Anyway, that's my segment done. Go on ahead.
Mr. Lord Jebus, man.
Who's your Mary
Oh,
Sue
I
example?
was about to get into Dead by Daylight. Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna
Let
be
me think
playing
of
some
that.
Dead by Daylight. I bought him Dead by Daylight because I am the worst
Actually playing it
friend
a
ever.
second ago.
I'm too scared to play at night. All right. Let's
Alright,
see.
Mary Sue
Jebus, it is
Claudette.
night.
I don't know many. Because I just learned what
Think
it
of
was today.
any character
I mean, you
that
heard the description.
yeah,
Yeah.
think of any
Ray is an
movie,
example.
show,
MCU Captain Marvel's an
anime, book,
example.
whatever, of a character that just feels like they're too strong or too perfect. There's nothing about them that's likable because there's nothing about them that's unlikable.
If you take away what they're good at and all you have is a blank character, that's a Mary Sue.
Then they're not a character, they're
Uh,
Mary Sue.
maybe. Have you seen Have you seen the Seven Deadly Sins?
Yes.
I haven't
Uh
actually.
oh. Well, there's just
I've seen
the
some
main
of it.
character called Meliodas. He's just I don't know what he is. He's just like a really strong
Honestly,
dude. But
I
he's
can
like
actually kind of agree.
he's just so I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. He's nothing.
His whole for context, his whole thing, he has an ability to reflect damage back at the attacker twice over.
Yeah, twice over.
That
That is his entire thing. And
okay.
from day one, he has barely tried or has not released his full power. The one saving grace that I can give him is that, like, he has got some traumatic past that he is trying to deal with, and he is quite
Yeah,
literally fighting his inner demon. And that's the only saving grace I could say that he
Yeah.
has.
I
Aside from
finished the
that, it
I finished the
feels like,
series and it's
yeah.
like I want to forget it.
I can see why you'd see him as a Mary Sue. I don't particularly. It could kind of go either way. An argument could be made either way.
And then I'm thinking of more like probably I don't know, is Urza from Fairy Tale one?
Wouldn't call her as a Mary Sue.
yes,
I
yes.
don't know.
Ursa's
It's
a Mary Sue.
Is she?
is it? It's
I would okay.
I
Maybe
don't see
I
her
mean
struggle, but you know, I don't know.
I mean
That
I
could maybe be a
watched
Mary
I
Sue.
five
don't know.
episodes of Fairy Tale and
Personally,
gave up.
I mean, personally, having watched Fairy Tale and been obsessed with it when I was younger, I would say, here's the thing: she's like Captain Marvel. Okay, she is one of those characters that, yeah, she has a hard, she has a tragic past and all that. But if you take away her powers and you take away her swords and you take away her strength and you take everything away from her, she's a character with red hair. That's it. Literally. Because but and like her weird obsession with Jalal. But like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like she doesn't really have a character
You know
besides
what?
being
You
Valid.
got a
strong
good
sword.
point. You take all the cool stuff away, and she's just kind of a redhead with a tragic backstory.
That's literally it, and
Again,
that's the reason why
if
she's
it's just
technically a
like,
Mary
oh,
Sue.
I'm sad, not a character.
It's
Yeah.
not. And then they're like, well, yeah, she has a character development. She was once really weak or whatever. That doesn't count because here's the thing: she has the ability, yes, to be a strong character, but and yeah, she is a strong, but she's just your generic strong swordswoman
I
character.
realize she's literally entirely dependent on her armor.
That's it, literally. And they
What
actually
armor?
make it a point in the manga, which is the reason why I say she's a
Yeah.
Mary Sue because
I think it
in the
even happens
manga,
in the anime where at one point her armor is taken away and she mentions how weak she feels.
she literally has nothing. She literally can't fight. She can't. She has no armor. The whole point of her character is the reason she puts armor on is because she's weak.
Like she's
That's the whole
afraid that
point of
like
her character.
yeah. I
It's
know
a
that
security
like
blanket.
yeah. Which I can kind of like they could definitely ease into character development that way, but I don't think they did it very well.
Yeah,
No,
and I think there's like
that's
a
the reason
few
why I
animes where
said.
the man's the main character and stuff, and he's only has one job, you know.
I would
I
argue
think there's
Yeah.
like a
Natsu's
bunch
probably a
of those
Mary Sue.
animes. Yeah,
Things do
but I
kind of
can't
just reverse
remember
for
off
her.
Natsu's a
my
Mary
top of my
Sue.
head.
Natsu's
Natsu's
100%
literally a Mary Sue.
I feel like Fairy Tales is a fuck ton of Mary Sues in a mixed bag.
I
It really
watched I
is.
Lucy is
watched
just
5
key.
episodes of Fairy
Lucy
Tale
is a Mary Sue.
and gave up
Lucy
simply
is fan
because
service.
I
This
Get it
was
right.
explains why I. Sorry, Nick.
Go ahead.
yeah
Go ahead.
like I said I watched 5 episodes of Fairy Tale and gave up so fast because I was
Don't
so
blame you.
annoyed with literally every fight just being villain hit Natsu with their deadliest attack. He stands up, they get scared and ask, "How did you survive my most deadly attack?" Natsu
My
says, "Because I
friend.
have friends," and then he one shots them.
One
That was
All I
Because
can
I
say
have
is
friends, so
literally
I win.
every
this
single fight.
explains why I can't touch it with a 10-foot pole. It's just Mary Sue the anime.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mary
Listen,
Sue's.
It's
here's the
mixed
thing.
bag of Mary Sue with fan service.
Here's the thing. As much as I totally agree. I have a very soft spot for fairy tale. So yeah, I agree. But it's like it's also meant for those people like me who I don't know. It hits a weird soft spot that we need it to hit. I guess
Yeah.
I don't know.
Watch
It
something else
just
that can fulfill that itch for you. There's gotta be something
Okay, shut
better.
up. Listen, I don't judge you for your anime. Don't judge me for mine.
it just annoyed me, honestly. It was just like I watched the first episode, saw that, and I thought, huh, this dude's pretty badass. Watched the second episode, second and third fight like that. I was like, huh, this dude, yeah. Fourth episode, I'm giving this one more chance. Halfway through the fifth episode, I stopped that and I was just like, I'm done.
This
I'm done.
was a mistake.
Yeah, and
Watch
This
Kill la
was a
Kill.
mistake.
Watch Kill la
I'm
Kill,
gonna
Nick.
I'm gonna call out a
There's
couple of my
exactly
friends
one
here.
episode where Natsu does not feel like a Mary Sue, and that's it. Or no, not one episode. One fight.
One fight.
Exactly one
Yeah.
fight where he doesn't feel like a Mary Sue, and it's
Yep.
I've already told you about it. It's the
Yep.
curse one.
Yep.
Oh no. Anyways,
So I actually am gonna call out a couple of my friends here, Leah and Ken. You guys, I
What's
love
that?
you guys so much. Kirito Aseo, not sure if anyone's mentioned it. We mentioned it out of call. Was it Wisconsin? But
what,
we have
Kirito?
yeah, Kirito. I think Samarra's gonna bring
No,
it
we
up.
mentioned him in call, but it was at
Yeah.
the start.
No,
when
no,
we
it
weren't
was it
into
wasn't in
any one
call. It
specific
wasn't in
segment.
call that
It
we talked
wasn't in
about
call
Kirito.
yet.
Oh, Javi, they gave me Dead by Daylight. Yay.
Yeah, I
So yeah.
Oh, you're talking to Heavy, I think. My bad.
So
Is Heavy watching?
Yeah.
yes.
Oh,
What's
okay,
what's
sweet.
on?
So I'm calling out Ken and Leah. I love you guys. You guys are best friends of mine, but when I tell you I don't want to watch an anime and I don't like it, please don't automatically assume I haven't tried to watch it. Because they both did that to me. They're like, "Hey, have you seen Fairy Tail?" And I said, "Yeah, I don't like it." And you go, "Man, you got to watch it." And I'm like, I tried."
No.
Uh,
Watch Kill la Kill.
so yeah, that Ay, ay, ay.
Okay, I'm kind of mad at you for that because every time you bring it up, you're making him less likely to ever go and give
I
it
know.
another try.
I don't know. I have to keep on trying. I don't know.
Yeah, except you're irritating me because it is something I think he can enjoy, but every single time you say it, you're making him less likely to ever think about doing it again.
Okay, okay.
Moving on. Let's go ahead and get to Samarra. We had Jesus bring
Okay.
up the first Gary Sue, which is Meliodas, but then also bring up Ezra,
Oh,
so he brought up two.
that's a thing. Okay.
Yeah,
It's just
Mary
a male
Sue,
version of
Gary
a Mary
Sue.
Sue.
A Gary Stew, which is a just
Oh, it's
gender
Gary Stew.
name. Yeah, it's
I
Gary
love
Stew.
that. Gary Stew. Okay.
It's literally just using masculine names instead of feminine ones, but it means the same thing.
So yeah, we got
Gotcha.
Mr. Lord
Jebus man.
right there. Samara, what say you? Any Mary Sues
All
you
right.
want to talk about?
I'm going to talk about the king of the Mary Sues in anime today. I'm going to be talking about Ichigo Kirasaki from Bleach. Oh my god. No, don't you even start. He is a Mary Sue, and let me explain, okay? The reason
Mm-hmm.
why he is a Mary Sue, okay? Yes, he has a tragic backstory, but he is a Shinigami, an Okiora, a Visor, a Hollow, and now he's the King of Souls. He literally did nothing.
Mm-hmm.
The story literally bends to him, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mean, he trained a little bit, but I wouldn't
a
say
little
it's
bit.
warranted.
Uh-huh.
No, no. And then the
And I'm
fact
saying,
that like,
I'm saying, I wouldn't say it's warranted.
Mm-hmm.
mm-mm. and and the thing is that what makes it worse is every time he gets put in a scary situation where he's about to die, boom, he has a new power and he survives. Literally every single time. And I say this because I watched and read all of Bleach. And yes, I'm going to still watch Thousand Year War, or whatever, or the Blood War, whatever it's called. But I'm still gonna watch it because I want to. But at the end of the day, I know as a character, Ichigo is pretty much like what we said about Urza. You take everything away from him, he's a boy
He's a carrot
in
head.
high school. He's literally a carrot head who can
Uh-huh.
see ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, no, but that's part of being a Shinigami. So if you take that away, he's just a kid.
Alright, guys, so apparently Ichigo is a Mary Sue now. I can
I mean,
feel the
here's the thing: Mary Sues
silent
in
Apparently.
anime just
rage.
kind of
I could just
happen a
feel the
lot.
silent rage from Samara. Alright, Samara, I do want to say I've seen like a few episodes of Bleach, so I'm not like trying to fight you or anything. I'm just pissing you off.
I know. But like anybody who
May
has
I ask a
actually,
quick question for
Yes.
yes,
categorization of a character? Would you guys say that Goku is a Mary Sue?
He's a
Yes.
parody. So yes.
a parody. I would say he's a parody because here's the thing. Even but the thing is that he's still trained.
So
But no, he would be a Mary Sue, wouldn't he?
okay, so the only reason I'd
Probably.
classify him as a Mary Sue, if you're looking at some early Dragon Ball stuff where he was just dumb guy who trained a lot and became strong, that's not a Mary Sue. He starts becoming a Mary Sue when
Mhm.
he's died at least a dozen times, has come back with a new form and a new hairstyle every single time. To quote
I
Superman
would agree.
in in their Superman versus Goku death battle, when Goku finally reached what at the time that episode of Death Battle was released, his current final form, Superman says, "It's about time you've run out of hairstyles." So yeah, modern Goku with everything that's happened with him is a Mary Sue, but is one of the very few accepted ones because he's literally just a parody of the whole concept in the first place.
Yeah.
To
Gotcha.
that
Also,
extent,
I
technically
I
Superman is
like
one.
technically, yeah, Superman is one as well. He's
I mean,
also
but to be
A Gary
fair,
Stu.
Superman was specifically designed as a poster boy. He
Yes.
was meant to be surface level for a reason.
Yeah. But
Because
here's
Yes,
the
he
thing:
was
I
supposed
will
he's
to
say,
be the
I
definition of pure untouchable good.
yes,
that
And
is
it's since been
and if
squandered.
DC fanboys or girls are wondering if it's just biased because I'm a Marvel fan, it's not. I think that Superman is still a well-written character. His struggles are never physical; they are always mental. But he has
Superman
a struggle.
is
That's the point.
such a great character. The only reason I'd
He
classify
is.
him as a Mary Sue at this point is simply because he is quite literally the walking key to damn near every problem the universe has to throw at him. And but I say he's an acceptable. I think he's like the only Mary Sue I will ever say is the Mary Sue
Is
and not a
designed
Mary
that
Sue.
way and acceptable to be that
He's
way.
a Mary Sue and not a Mary Sue at the same time. Every fight he gets into, he is more than capable of ending it so fast. But the thing that makes him not a Mary Sue at the same time is he chooses not to do that. If anyone is
Yeah.
familiar with this, the world is made of cardboard
Yes, the world is
speech.
cardboard speech. Yes,
That
that
I am not
exactly
familiar
sums up.
with this.
okay, so basically I think they were fighting Apocalypse, was it? Or was it Darkseid?
I do believe it was Apocalypse,
Okay,
and it
so
was in the Justice League animated series. I want to say.
So basically, that whole show, Superman gets thrashed around by whatever villain they're in, and he generally plays support. He's keeping damage control, civilian casualties at a minimum, and whenever the main bad guy hits him, he gets flung through buildings. And then eventually, Apocalypse comes in, punches him once, and then Superman walks up to him, and they start duking it out. And Darkseid starts asking him, "How did you not die?" And Superman says, uh, "This world feels like it's made of cardboard. I have to hold back everything just so I don't kill someone by accident. But with
The
you, I
phrase
can
the word
finally
was
let
yeah.
loose." And he punches Darkseid so hard he flies through several buildings, and he solos.
I
No,
remember
not
that.
Darkseid. Apocalypse. He punches Apocalypse so hard and
It
basically
was
just
Apocalypse.
solos Apocalypse. And that again, that's why I think Superman as the concept is a Mary Sue, but in actual,
He was
uh,
fighting Darkseid.
it was Darkseid.
It was
Ah,
Darkseid.
okay, but yeah, as a concept,
Uh,
Superman is a Mary Sue. In so much of the practice, he's not, except the movies. But we'll ignore those for now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I have the full speech right here. I looked it up because I wanted to see what the full speech was, and it
Yes,
does bring home the point.
yes, yes. Say it.
That man won't quit as long as he can still draw a breath.
He's
None of
talking
my
about Batman
teammates
here.
will. Me? I have a different problem. I feel like I live in a world made of cardboard, always taking constant care not to break something, to break someone. Never allowing myself to lose control, even for a moment, or someone could die. But you can take it, can't you? What we have here is a rare opportunity for me to cut loose and show you just how powerful I really am.
I love that word choice truly shows that he is a farmer from Kansas.
Oh yeah.
What we
Yes.
have is here is a
What we
rare
have here is
opportunity.
a real opportunity for me to show you
That
just
is
how
the most
powerful I really
that
am.
is the most Kansas ass dialogue I've ever heard for
I
Superman.
love it. It really
So
just
good.
goes to show he was raised in Kansas.
Yeah.
I love
So
that because
yeah,
that really does fit his
Superman.
personality.
I also
Superman.
love how in that animated series they nicknamed him Smallville.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So,
That
like
was
with
great.
Superman as a concept, I think he is a Mary Sue,
Yeah.
but
In concept, Mary
in
Sue, but in
practice,
practice,
he just hasn't been.
yeah. Movies, debatable. But comics and animated series is where he has really shined, and I think that he defies what
I
a Mary Sue
I
is.
think I think he
He
shines
defines and
when people
defies.
keep him as
Yes.
I think he shines when he is kept what he was originally intended to be, which like I said, is a golden poster boy.
Yeah.
I think
The
he
issue
shines when they
is
don't.
people
Oh, go on.
sorry.
No, no, no. You
The
said it
issue
first.
is, in my eyes, um, because Marvel was so successful with its dark and brooding characters, they tried to make everyone more like that, which does not work for someone like Superman, whose whole thing is that he is a goody two shoes for a reason.
They
Yep.
call him the Big Blue Boy Scout for crying out loud.
So I
Yes.
think
They
Superman.
had Batman, who was supposed to be him and all of his accompanying things were supposed to be the dark and brooding
Yes.
that they had. Where
And
it
Yes.
honestly,
worked.
yeah, Batman and Superman are meant to be polar opposites of each other, but still fighting for justice. They just go about
Exactly.
it in different ways.
Exactly.
And that's why the two of them are such an interesting pair, because they're two sides of the same coin fighting for the same thing, just going about it differently.
I
But
think
when you try to
oh,
make everyone Batman,
it doesn't work.
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
So I think Superman shines best when you don't write Superman. You write Clark Kent.
That too.
Or when you it's also good when you don't try to write him as just Superman flavored Batman.
That too. So yeah, this was Samarra's segment. I don't remember who her Marisu was. I think it was Ichigo.
Yep.
Yes.
And then we tangented off. Were you done with that, or were you?
Yeah, no,
you had-
I was just saying, like, he's the typical character where it's like, if the times get hard, he unlocks a new power. And we were saying the same thing about Goku, which is true. And
Oh
then
yeah.
y'all went on to Superman.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like, I mean, here's the thing. I still like Bleach. Like, do I enjoy it? Yes, because it's one of the few shows, like, I've seen all of. But do I like the main character? No. Because he literally, it feels like he doesn't struggle. And I think that the part of a story that really makes it a good story is watching the characters go through something hard and struggle and then have to pull themselves out of it. Whereas with Ichigo, it just feels like, oh, here's a new handout, here's a new power. Like, the perfect contrast I'm going to put together is one of my favorite, they're about to turn it into a manga and or not manga, an anime. I'm sorry, and that is a little thing called Chainsaw Man. I love
That's
Chainsaw
right.
Man.
They're making Chainsaw Man anime.
It's coming out,
Oh.
and
Cannot
ladies and
wait.
gentlemen, it comes out in October. You better ready
Oh,
your
I'll
your
watch it
Hell
specifically
yes.
for Kobe.
Nick, we're getting a
it,
birthday present.
Yes, we are.
I know it's beautiful, but like, so I'm gonna give an example. So I actually I remember when Chainsaw Man first came out because I was so excited about it. I was like, oh, gore and a character that's like ridiculous and only has one
We
goal,
are
which is
too.
to
Wizard.
sex and eat.
We are too.
Yeah, like truest man out there. Literally, he's like, no, I don't really care. I just want boobs and food. That's it. And my dog
Oh,
Pochita, who is also a
amazing.
chainsaw demon. But
So to
like,
take care of my dog, I want boobs and I want food. Most
like
relatable man in
The
history.
three things a man needs:
literally,
animal
literally,
companionship,
like
love
your
companionship,
dog,
full
boobs,
stomach.
and beer. But like,
I need
or
a
and
full
food.
stomach.
I need
I
a
need
full
to.
stomach, relationship needs, and animal companionship.
Food,
But
That's
a
so
that's
dog,
like,
it.
and
as I'm
boobs. I love
saying,
it.
so Denji, the reason I really like Denji as a
I
character, and
need
I
three
really fell
things. The three F's: food,
Oh,
Okay,
fucking, and
let
fighter.
let her talk.
Sorry.
okay. So the reason I like Denji so much, and the reason everybody obviously, because he's a relatable character. He's a normal guy who, first of all, like the story starts out, he's a completely normal human, but he's still able to kill demons. Like even before he had the chainsaw powers. I mean, yeah, he's been fighting demons since he was a little kid, but he had no superpowers. All he had was Pochita, but that the thing is, Pochita was still a demon, and even before Pochita, he was still killing demons. So he was already a character before his powers even came into play, and he already had a pretty good story, which was my dad got me into debt, and now I'm left holding the bag, so to speak. And then he dies. Spoiler. And I know, yes, but and then Pochita of course sacrifices his life because he wants Denji to live. Because he's like, Denji, you remember all those things you talked to me about? I want you to do those. So it's not that Denji has an unrealistic goal, and I think that's what makes his story so compelling. He has actually a pretty realistic goal. He wants to just live. But the thing is that he's constantly being either decapitated, cut up, attacked, tricked by women, and then thrown a grenade at. Like, true story. But like he doesn't get a normal life. So even though he actually wants to be a normal human, he doesn't get that. He doesn't have that opportunity. So instead, he's forced to become Chainsaw Man because that's the only way he's going to reach his goal. And they actually just released the part 2 of the manga, and now his character's changed because he's gotten kind of this hero complex because he's and which is really interesting because he like before he was a nobody, and now he's like, I want everyone to know I'm Chainsaw Man. I don't care if I die. He's like, I just want people to know because I want to be famous so I can get boobs. Literally says it in the
Evolved
manga.
into the 4Fs, basically.
Literally, he's gotten
Add
to the
fame
point
in
where
there.
he's like, he literally was like, you know what? The best way for me to get famous and get laid, I need to tell everybody I'm Chainsaw Man. Even though people keep telling him, no, you don't want to do that, they'll kill you. He's like, but boobs. Like, he's a very
Please.
relatable character. And he has like a personality even before he had the powers. And even like even if you take all his powers away from him, he's still a kid who like killed demons and obsessed with food and boobs.
So yeah,
So
I
yeah,
also
The
do
three
want
Fs:
to point
food,
out
fucking, and Fido. Now
that
add fame.
the client for the next power washing thing is named Suberry. So
Oh.
haha, Berry Sue.
yeah, ha ha ha. But like the point is that like if you compare like a character like Ichigo to somebody who's like Denji, you're obviously gonna like
I please tell me you see Wizard Wisconsin's comment.
Yes.
what is it?
The time lapse on the power wash looks like a King of the Hill intro.
I'm sorry.
So you'll see it eventually. Dun, 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 dun. All right, so let's talk about the most prominent Mary Sue, Hank Hill.
My name's Hank Hill. I am a Mary Sue.
I sell propane and propane accessories. They never show like
I'll
how he
tell
got
you
good at
what.
selling propane and propane accessories.
He just did, man. Don't question it.
I want to
He'll tell
question.
you what.
I tell you what, I am a textbook Mary Sue.
Oh
So
my god,
Or
guys,
if
there's
you
a
prefer,
Halloween
a
mug and
Gary
it's called
Stew.
Halloweenies and it has penises all over it.
oh, wonderful. Okay,
It's called
so
Halloweenies.
let's go ahead and move off that subject. Is there anything else you want to say about that,
Anyway.
Samarra?
No, just like it's okay to be okay with like liking a Mary Sue, but just like also know there's better characters out there.
Yes. So for me, the Mary Sue I want to give, I'm gonna specify one name, but I do want to go ahead and say, fuck you, Marvel. Please give us more female characters like Black Widow who are actually good. They have been doing
Hey,
nothing but
she's dead, right?
yes.
She died.
She was awesome. I miss her. She was such a great character. Her, the Hulk, and Thor are like the three most tortured characters in the entire series. Like, and I remember SJWs were getting pissed off because she showed shame in the fact that she is uh, infertile and forcibly so so she can be an assassin.
I think it's more
That was part
empowering
of her
because
story.
Yes,
that
it
wasn't
was.
her choice. If it was
No,
her choice,
It's
then yeah,
about the fact she didn't have choice, not that she's infertile.
yeah.
that was the
Having
Yeah,
entire
she
point of
anything
the story.
taken from you by force is not something to be happy about.
Exactly,
no.
and they were all saying stuff like she shouldn't show shame. She's supposed to be strong. She is strong. She's living with that.
Have you
Have
ever
you ever been
considered
in
that
labor?
showing shame and remorse about something shows that you are strong enough to show shame and remorse about said thing?
Another thing is
Yep.
we've never seen that on her before, so the fact that it took this long for us to see it, she's been having that deep inside for so long. That is also strength. Just not showing it
Yeah, her
and
character
then
was supposed to be an emotionless assassin. Showing emotion is a sign of strength for her.
exactly. Now, the character I do want to specify, I haven't seen the show. I've been seeing reviews and I saw the scene for those who would be aware. She-Hulk. There okay,
Uh,
my dad was talking
so
to me
you
That
about
two
it
scene.
have felt my pain.
and
You have felt my pain.
he mentioned the scene where she was talking to Hulk and my dad didn't give a very good description of it because when I first envisioned that, I was thinking her kind of venting to Bruce, saying she has to deal with a whole mansplaining and catcalling thing. And I thought, wow, she's trusting her cousin with this kind of information and stuff. I thought it was cool until I actually saw the scene in a review on it. She straight up tells her cousin, who has been who has his best friend Tony Stark sacrifice his life to save the universe, his love interest Black Widow sacrifice her life to save the universe. He has been trapped on a planet for 2 years, stuck as the Hulk, fighting for his life for someone else's entertainment. He has nearly died trying to save the world several times, has killed people before because he lost control of his anger and thus lost control of the Hulk. And to quote Bruce Banner himself, I never saw an end, so I put a bullet in my mouth and the other guy spit it out. She told him because of catcalling, mansplaining, and creepy guys on the street, she has to deal with stress, fear, and anger infinitely more than he does.
I think just the sheer amount of stress that the Hulk as a looming presence offers is more than any of that combined.
Yeah.
Just the
let me
knowledge that at any time, if you lose control, you could
Someone will
kill
die.
anything and everything
not
around you.
just that is the Hulk, the amount of anger a person can feel actually has a limit. There is a limit to how much of the hormone that produces the feeling of rage and anger can be made in our brains. We literally have a limit to how mad we can get. And just the baseline level of anger to start to turn into the Hulk is way more than any human brain or body could possibly ever produce. You, she, Jen, I think Jan, her name is, her physical unaltered form quite literally is completely physically literally impossible to reach a level of anger that the Hulk has. There's
You have to
still a limit.
consider
It's
she's
just
also half Hulk. She is not full Hulk.
that too. She's half Hulk. And right from the get-go of episode 1, she has perfect control of her anger, can transform to and back at will
And can
already.
somehow thunderclap better than Hulk.
She can twerk better than Hulk.
I'm talking
But
thunderclap, not thunderclap them cheeks.
but
I
yeah,
was gonna say, we both know Hulk has bigger cheeks.
He
I
got more to work with, what
but
can I
yeah,
say?
I wanna I wanna just jab at She-Hulk. I like that she's a lawyer. I like that she's Bruce's cousin, because that's how it is in the comics, and the comics did that so good. And the show is just
Another example of the MCU adaptation not being as good as the comics.
this is another example of what I am dubbing the strong female character, or what also has been called the SJW Mary Sue, where they try to
Yep.
make minorities like women or trans people or LGBT of some kind relevant.
Have you
And
noticed most of the SJW characters that have been brought up are female? There's like I actually can't think of one that's of any other group or minority.
I'm just, it's fucking. The funniest part of it to me is the whole point of doing that is, hey, look, strong female character. Females can be strong too. Except because of the way they do it, it makes no one take them seriously, which is just making backlash and defeating the whole purpose of the character in the first place.
and
Yeah.
for some reason that argument
Trying to
is
show, hey, women can be strong too, and then just having a character that everyone is like, "How this is fucking horrible," then no one's gonna take it seriously, and no one's gonna take you seriously.
And then people will be like, "Oh, you don't like it? I guess that means you're a misogynist."
yeah, that is what pisses me off is I don't like that Rey is female. I don't like Rey at all.
Yeah.
I love Ahsoka. I
Has
love
nothing to
Leia.
do with that. I just don't like your character.
I don't think that Rey is bad because she's a female character. I think Rey
I
is
think
bad
Rey
because
is
she was
bad
poorly
because she's
written.
bad.
I'm gonna chip in and say this because I was forced to watch the Little Mermaid live action trailer for the
Mhm.
live
Oh
action Little Mermaid
no.
movie.
Oh,
So I'm gonna say this right now. I'm not gonna see it. Do I want to watch it? No. Is it because Ariel's black? No. But at the same time, I'm also sitting here like they're also making Tinkerbell black. So Ariel's gonna be black. I'm
Like we
like,
said in a prior one, inclusion that is forced is still forced.
it's still forced.
Like
And
indeed.
here's the
if
thing.
they pick a black actress because she's a good actress, great.
If they pick a
But
black actress
and
because she's black, Well, now you're just as
Less great.
racist
That's
as
just racist.
yeah.
That
That's
But
just
here's
feels
the-
racism.
oddly more racist.
Here's my argument. Instead of, because I grew up in the early 2000s and late 90s, so I don't know if you remember because y'all are younger than me significantly, but there used to be a lot of Disney TV shows based off the Disney movies. And one of them was Little Mermaid. Guess what? There was a black character who was deaf. You want to do inclusion? I've got the character for
I
you.
actually distinctly remember hearing about that because of people
Wasn't there a
complaining
Little
about
Mermaid character
them
that was
making
deaf as
Ariel
well?
black.
No, she was deaf. The Little Mermaid character I'm
yeah.
talking about who was black is deaf.
Yeah, that's my point. I remember that getting brought up because they were literally talking about, hey, if you want inclusion, here's your fucking inclusion.
And instead of being about Ariel, Ariel could already be up there and she could be the next one that's like, hey, I'm trying to find my way out from the ocean. Boom. But instead, they're color washing everything. And it's not just. And I don't like any washing of race of any kind. And then I was like, people were like, well, they did Aladdin, right? They were all Arabic. I'm like, hey, dum dum, you ever read Arabian Nights? They're like, no. I'm like, did you know that Aladdin's actually Chinese in the book?
Here's something that I just thought about. Everybody complains when somebody whitewashes something, me included typically.
Mm-hmm.
If something shouldn't, be whitewashed, then
Don't
why should it
whitewash
be
it.
color washed in general?
Why should it be color washed in general is a good point. I was about to say why should it be black washed?
Why
But,
should it be anything? And here's the thing: I'm not gonna. It's not, and I'm gonna say this right now because I already had somebody who told me at my that I'm like in a group chat with. They're like, "Wow, you're racist." I'm like, "I'm being racist. It has nothing to do with race. First of all, the reason I'm not gonna go see this movie has nothing to do with the girl that's playing Ariel. She's actually a really good singer. I think she's amazing. That's not the reason why I'm not going to go see the movie. I'm not going to go see the movie because Disney makes horrible live action.
Yeah,
I just can't support them remaking every fucking animated movie they've already made. Especially when even Walt Disney himself told them not to fucking do it.
Here's the thing.
He
And
hated
here's the thing.
sequels. He
If you're
hated
gonna
remakes, and he
remake
hated
something,
remasters of
remake
any
the
kind.
things that need more love. If you want to make something live action, here's a movie that could work maybe as live action. Remake Atlantis.
I have a better
Okay,
one, y'all.
live action Atlantis would be
age.
fucking great.
Okay,
would
I
like-
have an even better one.
Or fucking what the fuck was it called? Treasure Planet.
I
Okay,
have a
honestly
better
though,
one
I
than
kind
that.
of want Treasure
Stop.
Planet to stay.
I'm gonna
2D.
say this one right.
Okay,
I'm gonna
that's
say
kinda
this
fair.
one right now
Aliens would be
because I'm
hard to
gonna
do.
say this. I'm gonna say this right now because I guarantee you only a few people have seen this movie, but it is actually one of, if not my favorite Disney movie behind Aladdin, Black Cauldron.
Oh,
I
Black
haven't
Cauldron
seen
was
it.
good.
Oh.
Imagine if they made
I
a
like
live
Black
action
Cauldron.
Black Cauldron.
That would be really cool.
That'd be really cool, and they could do it. They could absolutely
honestly,
do a
yes.
live action. That
like-
movie needs love. It needs a
I agree.
tender touch,
I
and
don't know.
that's the reason why. I'm sorry. That's the reason why I'm not going to go see any more live actions. I'm not going to watch the Pinocchio movie. I'm not going to watch any of that because at the end of the day, I'm tired of Disney regurgitating content just to get money. And instead, make something new, make something fresh. I mean, look
if you're
at
gonna
Coco.
remake it, make a different take.
Exactly. I mean, look at Coco.
Do something different.
Look at what was it called? That one that just came out. God, about the Encanto.
Encanto.
Like these other
Encanto,
movies
yes.
that they're. Encanto was a great movie. Oh, I
I
cried.
loved Encanto.
That was
Okay,
really good.
here's the thing. I was not prepared to cry for Encanto. It opened up some
Encanto hit-
deep
it hit
fucking
some
wounds
dark
for
parts.
You
me.
guys liked Encanto?
I loved Encanto.
I love
Here's the
Okay,
thing,
I'm gonna
here's
say
the
this
thing,
right
here's
now.
the thing.
Anybody who had emotional trauma liked that movie because
Yes,
you go.
I grew up with that kind of emotional trauma. I
And
was
then
not
you
ready
go
to
in
deal
and
with
you're
that.
like, why is this literally the song that hit me the hardest for me was the No Pressure or Under Pressure,
Oh, no
whatever.
pressure.
Okay, so
That one
To
hit.
be fair, I just love Lin-Manuel Miranda, and I love that he composed all the songs for Encanto.
But that's the point.
That
Is like
makes a
they
lot
need
of
to
sense.
stop making remakes. They need to
So-
make more new stuff.
okay, so
Yeah.
Yes,
Javi
Mr.
knows
Host.
me well enough for this, but for me, Encanto was it was a movie.
That's fair.
It was a movie. I liked that they did the whole green thing for for the man we don't talk about, but we will sing about, making it look like he's a villain, and then it turns out he's basically just some guy.
Yeah.
But
He's
it
just a
was
poor man living in your walls.
it was a movie that's
Eating
all
your
I have to
chicken
say.
wings.
I'm not gonna meme it out like Morbius was the movie ever.
Oh my
It was
god, yeah.
just a movie to me.
I actually went to see
Morbius
Morbius.
was one of the movies of all time.
It was a
Morbius was
movie.
the movie of all time. But yeah,
But-
that's
It was
my
a movie.
No,
that was
one
my
of
take
the
on Encanto.
movies.
That was my
Yeah.
take on Encanto.
But
It
the
was
point
It's
is
not for
that-
everybody. I'm not gonna say it's for everybody. I
Here's the
personally
thing.
enjoyed it. I have nothing against you if you don't enjoy it. I think it definitely opened up some wounds I was not ready to address, and because of that, some tears were shed.
Ooh, my
Um,
therapy was a hard one that week. But
yeah.
but no, like it's just the point is that I think it's just time for Disney to move on. Like the movies they made are
Yes.
amazing. The golden era of animation should be preserved. And that's the reason why I get so upset with people who are like cancel Peter Pan, cancel Dumbo, cancel all these other movies because there's a bit of racism. Yes. Are you gonna cancel Bambi? You know what the skunk represents, right?
Yeah.
Hippies.
I hate to
Outcast.
tell people this, but if you're going to remove all evidence of racism, you create two different problems. One, there's nothing to learn from. Two, you're removing it because of one thing and ignoring anything else it has to offer.
Peter
And
is
also,
one of my
think
favorites.
about how many things you have to remove if you focus on that. For example, H.P. Lovecraft literally created an entire genre. He was one of the most racist people I've ever heard of.
All
Are
right,
we gonna
guys.
cancel
So,
the idea of Lovecraftian horror just because he was a racist little shit?
all right,
Yeah.
guys.
Anyway,
so
sorry. Go ahead,
let's-
Nick.
Let's go ahead and just take a moment and everyone here, if you don't know, and anyone who's watching, I am not gonna chance saying this on stream. Go ahead and look up the name of H.P. Lovecraft's cat.
Yeah, that's why I didn't address it directly.
Like we
I'm-
talked about this last stream, but
Let me.
Point is, he's very racist.
Yes, he was.
I will make one
my God.
comment about the Disney movies though. That's the sound of a man who didn't know H.P. Lovecraft's cat's name.
Oh my
But
god.
yeah, no, he was very racist. But Disney live action movies are a black hole.
I'm still laughing at Javi.
Yeah, Javi just.
I was not prepared for that.
You're welcome.
I was like, oh god,
No
how
one
bad is
ever
it
is.
gonna be? I'm
Nothing
like,
that
oh,
can
it's
prepare
worse.
you for that.
I was like, you
Hear
know
me
what?
out.
It's probably
You guys
gonna
are
be
gonna
bad.
hate
Oh,
this.
it's worse.
H.P. Lovecraft would have made a great Minecraft YouTuber.
He would have.
So
But the point is that like people are there's
Child
everyone
language
has
content.
something. Everybody has a view. My mom said a perfect example today. Everyone has opinions are like assholes. Everyone has, and that's
You
all.
are
I'm
getting very far away from your mic, Samarra.
yeah,
Samarra saying
Oh.
that her mom said everyone. It said opinions are like assholes. Everyone has them.
Yep. And you know what? And I think that the fact that people are no longer the whole cancel culture, I'm not for it. Like there's genuine terrible things. Like another thing that I'm really upset about. So I actually watched Song of the South, which is deemed the most racist Disney movie of all time. Yeah.
Oh, I just
So
remembered
first
which
of
one it
all,
was.
You said the name, and I didn't need anything more.
no. So I'm going to tell you
Wow.
about the Song of the South.
I
First of
know
all,
what it is. That's my point.
I don't.
no, you don't.
Oh.
You don't. I'm gonna give you a little thing.
I
It's
know of
actually
it, but I
about
haven't seen it.
oh, I seen
it's actually
clips.
about it's actually a man telling children Nigerian folk tales.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. And
Mhm.
the reason people get upset is because the man who is super happy was once an enslaved man. And he's telling these stories to white children. And people are upset because they're like, no man who's been through slavery would be that happy. And here's the funny thing. In history, it has actually been proven that not every slave owner was a horrible person. Were they? Some really horrible people? Yes. But the whole point of the Song of the South, which, by the way, another little factoid of history that nobody wants to talk about, the man who played the uncle in that story, the storyteller, was the first man to ever get an Emmy. First Native American, first African American man to get an Emmy.
Wow.
Nice.
Nobody talks
Really?
about it. He was in literally Walt Disney helped him walk across the stage to receive the trophy. Nobody talks
Nice.
about that. And I hate that. But the reason I get so upset about people getting upset about that movie is because I'm like, have you actually watched the movie? Tell me
My
what parts are
reaction was
racist.
not to the movie itself. My reaction was because I know how heated a topic it is.
It is a
I will be
very
right back.
heated topic. It's a very
Because
heated
people
topic. And
look at it, because people look at just the cover of it and are like, oh.
But here's the thing, and then people make assumptions based off of the characters, the little cartoon characters, like, well, that's obviously slave trappers and they're coming after the rabbit and they're hunting him. I'm like, that's not what it's about. The original story of Brer Rabbit is actually teaching children to not misbehave and to keep them out of trouble because otherwise bad people will come and hurt them. It has nothing to do with slavery. And here's another thing. There are more African slaves in Africa than there ever were in the United States.
Not to mention, people also gloss over the fact that a lot of times it was people selling their own kind
Yep.
in Africa, where they would literally be like, the British would roll up, be like, hey, we will give you this in exchange for
tribal leaders.
you give us some of your
Leaders would
own
literally.
population.
I'm not
They would
sure
literally
if
enslave
I
their
wanna
own.
I wanna keep up on this
Yeah,
topic.
sorry for the.
Sorry, the point
sorry
is
for the
that
rant.
I'm sorry. I'll stop. But the point
No, I
is
mean
that
like
like
it's not that it's
Yeah.
a bad topic to bring up. It's just
It's just not the right topic here. Yeah.
Sorry, I
Daddy
apologize.
Twitch might not like that.
I apologize, Daddy Twitch. Don't hurt us.
Daddy.
Beat
And,
me, not them.
Daddy
I
Twitch
knew
and
you-
Mommy YouTube.
Okay, I'm sorry. Just cut me
It's
out.
okay.
Pretend that never
No,
happened.
not you. I'm not upset with you. Oh, I can't do it. I don't have permission.
No,
You
it's
would
okay.
kill
Cut,
that, wouldn't you?
cut that whole conversation out. It's okay.
I don't have
I get
editing
really
skills.
heated
This is
about
going
that.
on YouTube anyway. Time
I mean,
to
I
die.
keep telling you, if you want me to, I can edit it.
Yeah,
This-
hey, because I don't
this-
want you to get in trouble. Because YouTube is getting a lot more strict, so I don't want you to be like that. Now I feel bad. I'm sorry.
I will take whatever risk comes with me.
I'm just
that comes
irritated with.
this.
I'm irritated with Jebus because he's doing the thing that I want to bludgeon him for.
What? It was in your head. You're just getting mad that it was said out loud.
I don't
No,
know.
I'm upset because I knew you would fucking do it.
Yeah. I'm there. I read your head.
I don't know what's going on.
I said daddy
Oh,
because
boy.
I'm tired and my brain does not care.
You said Daddy
You
Twitch,
called
and I
him Daddy?
immediately knew he would do it because he's the type of guy who would.
Daddy, yes.
I didn't hear that, but you know what? Let's go ahead and move on here.
I can
Yeah,
say it
let's
again
move
if you
on. I'm
want.
sorry, y'all.
Mary
I'm gonna
I'll give
pretend
you
I didn't
Twitch
see that.
points.
So, we were talking about Marvel and how they
Mary
ain't doing
Sues.
nothing but making Mary Sues. Yeah, that conversation didn't happen. I think I might
It happened.
actually
Moving
want
on.
to edit this for the first time ever.
Yes, please edit it and make sure I've never heard of. Thank you.
Of course. I'll give
It's
Crème
okay.
full creative control on editing that part out and how he can handle that. Because, oh man,
Well, since
I-
he's
Actually,
also
Javi, you have editing stuff, right? Javi?
Went away.
Oh. Check
Go
with
ahead.
Javi first because I think Javi actually does have experience with editing.
Javi, you okay? You asleep?
I think he went somewhere.
all right, hold up.
Point is, let's move on.
Hey, Samarra,
Okay.
you love Death Robots. It's great.
Yes, but then we gotta stay on topic.
I'm gonna murder you. Let Nick do his topic.
Oh, yep. Go Nick.
He was asking me if I got this from Overly Sarcastic Productions. Actually, sorta. I am inspired a lot by other things, but Overly Sarcastic Productions wasn't what made me want to cover Mary Sue. When I was going over like how I want to start this in my head, I was taking inspiration from Overly Sarcastic Production, specifically Red because she covers the trope talk thing. But I decided to not do that. But yeah,
Again, I don't think he's here.
it's Hizzy texted that in the chat.
He did that a while ago.
Yes, he did that 2 hours ago. So, moving on. Screw you, Marvel. Screw you, Disney. You're making every female character completely unlikable, and I especially want to diss She-Hulk for that because
She-Hulk was bad.
she does not have to deal with anywhere near as much fear, stress, or anger as Bruce does.
Bruce Banner.
Nation even treated her nicely. Like,
Also,
kind of in a way. I guess in his own way. But, like, he was nicer to She-Hulk than he was to Hulk through building.
exactly. But yeah, that's kind of what I did want to mention with the whole She-Hulk thing. Um, God, what else do I want to talk about? There's also just the whole issue with Disney again. I completely lost my train of thought. Screw you guys.
You're not the
Question that I think you can ask that would work with Mary Sue's, if you don't mind.
Actually, I will let you ask this question.
Okay, I have a question for y'all about Mary Sue's. What was the very first time you realized, oh my god, that's a Mary Sue?
Now, here's the thing.
Like,
Does it have to be using that word or just the acknowledgement of the archetype? Not
the
necessarily
acknowledgement,
associating
I would
with
say
the
the
term.
acknowledgement of the archetype. Because the thing is, I didn't know what Mary Sue was, but I could tell, like, okay, I know I don't like you. Because you're not a character. A character type I liked. So you didn't have to actually know what a Mary Sue was, but you could recognize the archetype and like looking back, you're like, yeah, that's why I didn't like them. They were Sue, you know.
All right, Samarra, walk a little closer to your mic. We understood what you said, but get
You are
closer to the
Okay.
being
mic
quite
again.
distant.
I apologize. Can you hear me now?
Oh my god,
Yes.
that's like going from normal sound to
Perfect.
ear rape.
I'm
I
sorry.
understand you, Samarra.
I put my mouth to the phone, so
Nice.
can you hear me now?
The
Yeah.
moon landing was fake.
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is?
So I think the first time I realized a character was a Mary Sue, I think would be Kirito from SAO. When I was first watching it, I was kind of a bit blinded by the fact that video games, VR, die in game, die in real life, and I loved that concept so much that I didn't
Yeah.
pay attention to all the faults in it, and I was just like, ah, cool, ah, awesome. And then I went and rewatched it, and I was like, all right, so I've seen really good anime. This is like one of my top five. I watched it again, and I'm like, how the hell did this even make it a top 100? What is
Yep.
wrong with
Yeah.
the writers? And that was
So
when
what
I
about the
realized.
character? What about the character made you go? What was the moment that made you go, oh my god? Like looking at it, you're like,
When I
oh
was
god.
rewatching and the scene with Yui came up, where I saw her come up and I thought, oh, she's an innocent character. They're gonna kill her, aren't they? And they did. And then rewatching it, I was seeing the whole pity thing that they're trying to like make the viewers sad. Because I got older, smarter, better at writing knowledges and stuffs. And I recognized that this is a character that they're just gonna fridge so that they can add a little bit of emotional trauma to the two main leads, Asuna and Kirito.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw that scene come up where she died, I thought, wow, well, yep, I can see that. And then Kirito went in and hacked into the game itself to restore her as an object. a stored memory data object in the game. From that point on, my suspension of disbelief for Kirito being a badass was I forget the correct terminology of the phrasing. Basically, I could believe Kirito being as badass as he
You
was.
you you had you had the right term. Suspension of disbelief.
Yes, I just
Suspension
don't
of
know if
disbelief is the right phrase.
I don't know if I was going to use it right because I didn't know what I was going to say next. My suspension of disbelief
Ah,
was suspensions of disbelief was suspended. I could
that was the limit
believe.
of your suspension of disbelief.
Yes, that was the limit to my suspension of disbelief was getting to this scene. I could understand why he's a badass at the game. The whole having a unique power completely to himself is a little bullshit, but as a guy who was a 14-year-old gamer, I can completely understand how a 14-year-old kid would be badass at a game he beta tested. Uh,
Oh,
big
I
thing,
forgot he beta tested it.
yeah,
Mhm.
big example being me with Overwatch and how it took me several months to master Genji, and then I come back after not having played for 2.5 years, play Genji once, and I get to play the game. I mean, it's just kind of ingrained to be a badass green cyber ninja dude. I can understand him being socially inept because he's a gamer and an incel,
Because
basically.
gamers be like that.
Yeah, because gamers be like that. I could understand all of that. I can understand him being good with computers because, well, I'm not super great at computers and I'm a gamer, but I know plenty of other
But there are
gamers.
definitely young enough gamers that are.
Yeah, young enough gamers who are wizards with computers. My suspension of disbelief stops when he is hacking into a highly sophisticated VR game, learning the scripts while he is stopping a object from being deleted from the files, while he is
What?
If he could
learning
do
how
that,
to
why
stop.
couldn't he just hack himself out of the fucking game in the first place?
While he was learning how to get into this game specifically, because every code for every game is going to be different. He was learning how to hack into the code on this game, and in a
Oh
matter
man, I
of
can't believe they
seconds,
programmed this in Python.
how he, God damn it, Crème! I'm
Sorry.
already struggling with getting the fucking words out.
Sorry.
He was hacking into this, learning how to hack into this game, and was in the few seconds he was on that computer, he learned to hack into the game, get into the game's files, stop her code from being deleted, transfer her code into an item, effectively a trinket, and did all that. He did all that in a matter of seconds. And from this point on, we had no reason to believe he was a hacker at all. He was just good with computers. If you
Yeah.
instructed me how, I could build a computer. It's no, I wouldn't be able to hack into anything worth a shit.
Supposedly he searched up that he was adopted when he was like 11 or some shit.
He was a what?
I don't know.
He
That
was
he was
I
adopted when he
stopped
was
watching.
11.
or
What is this
or that his
happening in
mom
Sword Art?
that he was how do you say that his mom died and that's his real mom isn't his mom, you know.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I stopped watching.
I
I didn't.
I am confused by what Jesus is saying, but let's go ahead and move
I
on.
Fine.
don't
But
think
yeah,
we should try and absorb any information from him right
Dude,
now.
I want to interrupt you so bad and just say, hey, let's just I'm gonna stream Sword Art Online.
No.
I wanted to
God.
interrupt you when you said like when you said something to Crème, you know?
but yeah, that was about the moment when I realized he's a Mary Sue. He's a badass at the game. Okay, I can understand that. He's good with computers. I can well understand that. He seems to be a loner by himself. That I can absolutely understand. Being an outsider and having to focus on nothing but yourself. Being a master hacker genius who can learn a code, who can get into a code, uh, corrupt and transfer some files over while he is learning it. Yeah, that
I'm gonna call bullshit on
I'm
that
calling
one, Chief.
cap on that one, Chief.
And he
I
wants
get
to go
back and there's
too.
already a meme of my reaction to H.P. Lovecraft's cat.
Oh my
Okay,
God,
this
there-
I gotta see.
I fucking love
Oh,
it.
is it on Discord?
What do you mean? Who sent you this?
Heavy.
You know,
I'm saving it too.
Send
I
that
think
to
there was a
me.
day.
I want to see it. Send it to
I'm
the
gonna
Power
send it in
Wash.
the. I'm gonna send it in the server.
Okay.
Put it in the server.
But yeah, you missed Crème speaking while I was struggling to find words and fucking up my mind. Okay, so this
It's
one.
not wrong.
Oh man, can I add a scene? I wanna.
Oh,
If we're talking
add.
about, I will say I do have a scene for Kirito because I was gonna say Kirito.
Because I need to just. Please, can I? I can't.
the Pikachu thing.
Did you know that
'Cause that's
Sword Art
just
Online is
the
gonna begin in 53 days?
I was pretty
Oh,
much
you
the
mean
case
add
I
a
made
scene
too.
for the stream?
add
Are
a
you-
scene for the stream. Okay, I.
Okay, while he's doing that, I'm gonna talk about mine if that's acceptable.
Go for
Yeah,
it.
go ahead.
Wait,
So
what are we talking
I
about now?
actually do have a separate one. Samarra asked us a question of what was the first Mary Sue that you kind of just like went, hey, this is a Mary Sue, whether you knew that or not.
I
Like,
accidentally
did
ended
not
the stream.
want to.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
I didn't end the recording.
No, you
I
didn't.
just ended the stream by
Oh.
accident for a
Okay.
second.
Whew.
Well,
Okay, guys.
Is it
it's
back
still up. It's back up.
Yeah, it's
We can
back
say
up,
whatever we
but
want right now.
oops.
But
Don't.
as I was saying though, I watched some Dragon Ball when I was a kid, but like it was never one of the ones that like really encapsulated me. And Goku was a big part of that because very early on, I was disillusioned with Goku because he gets it's literally just a rinse wash repeat cycle of he goes to fight somebody, gets his ass beat, goes, trains, comes back, unlocks a new power level, whoops their ass.
See, but
Every
that's
time.
so. I will say this defense because I do love Dragon Ball, but I mean that's the whole point. It's like those were that was the 90s trope.
But
So
my
was
point
the
is,
character.
there is no character growth. He does not change
No.
as a person. He just
He's a
gets
terrible
new
father
thing.
too. He's
Yeah,
a terrible
like
father.
my point is, sure
Wizard
he
Wisconsin,
trains,
can I
but there
reveal
is
that
not
you are
fundamental
heavy?
change in him.
Can I reveal your real
There
name,
is no-
Wizard Wisconsin?
There is no fundamental change in there.
Okay,
He just
awesome, thank you. Go on, Graham.
gets something new visually speaking, and that's it.
It's about
Or
time
he
you've
doesn't,
run out
'cause,
of
like, a lot of-
hairstyles.
Because, like, here's the thing. During a lot of, like, Dragon Ball Z, for example, he doesn't even get new forms. He just gets more powerful, although they never actually quantify it. Or qualify it. Like,
It's
it's
a-
just like, oh yeah, he's powerful enough to beat this guy now.
It's his
There was no character
over
growth or
9,000.
anything.
It's over 9,000. That's
So
all
let me
we
say
get.
this now: people who discuss power scalars don't actually know how real fights work.
Nope.
So yeah, that just made me like that was me just acknowledging, Yeah, this is just power for the sake of, saying he's more powerful.
Be strong.
The character never changed.
No, he never did. As is Goku. Heavy here. He said his first Mary Sue was Barbie.
Yep, that's true. That's fact.
What?
I mean,
Okay,
honestly, not wrong.
can I get a little
Can I
context
can
on
I
that one, Heavy?
ask why?
Accurate.
She's every career in the
She
world.
literally has every career, despite the fact I'm not even sure she's old enough to have a single master's, even though she's got like 10.
There are Barbie shows where literally she is the solution to every problem.
Oh,
Okay, so I haven't
She
seen
There's a
any
literally
in
has
every
animations,
every
Barbie
so
career.
movie, that's how it goes.
She's a mermaid.
my
She's a
God.
how
princess.
she
She's a
can do
fairy.
everything. Everything.
Even in fiction and real life, man. I don't know. There's no
Everything.
limit.
She has every job.
What the
All
fuck?
right, guys. We need to start singing "I'm a Barbie Girl."
No, thank you.
No, what? No, I'll pass these.
No. Do I look like I'm in the armed services?
You will if you have
Okay.
to start singing I'm a Barbie girl.
Okay,
That's my-
I think
that was the
we
joke somewhere.
should move on now to
Yeah.
let's see who the hell we move to. Let's just go ahead and move on to
Javi.
Javi.
The first Mary Sue that I ever saw and just knew it was a Mary Sue.
You didn't even have to know like what type.
Or if I could just
salt
kind of
you're
tell, like,
Acknowledge
yeah,
the character archetype, even if you didn't have a name for it.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
You went to go do dishes again, guys.
I'm trying.
He's doing
No,
dishes as we speak.
I'm here. I can hear. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
His
Hey, multitask.
brain
Yeah,
is
no,
doing dishes.
No,
Oh,
Javi,
God.
we can't hear
Wait.
you.
Oh, that's a shame because I had a really good one. Now, unfortunately, you guys won't be able to hear it.
Well, I mean, just
So
for the
say it.
sake
So
of it,
just
why
in,
don't you go
just
ahead
in
and
Tell
case
the
we might be
dishes the
able to.
really good one.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't. It's hard to think back to exactly when, like, it just clicked that was the kind of character that it was. Fuck. Hmm. I actually don't know. I've been consuming all manner of media for about as long as I can remember, and I can't pinpoint what character
If you
it
can't pick
was
the
that just
first,
clicked.
think of an early one.
Yeah.
Okay. Interestingly enough, Superman. But I at least understood that, like, despite the fact that he was that archetype, the way he was done, like in the comics especially, was done well. We'd already talked about it before, exactly how, but I had this deep feeling that he was made to
What the
be
fuck?
just this, like, fix all for whatever situation he was in. But I understood that he had other problems that kind of helped him defy what type of thing he was embodying.
Okay. Was there a particular like part of it that you were like, oh well, shit, like a
Alright.
scene or something?
Samara, can you
Just-
come back?
Just the general
I'm here.
fact that
There you go.
just the general fact that, like, any other character couldn't really stand much of a chance against him unless, like, they had a very specific thing, or they had so much of the, like, for example, like, Lex Luthor had to default to kryptonite just to stand a chance, at least in more like other iterations.
Yeah,
And
we need to expose Superman to pink kryptonite. That'll beat him.
oh good god, not the pink kryptonite, please.
The most powerful kryptonite of all.
I'm sorry, what?
Pink kryptonite made Superman gay.
Made him slay.
While he's exposed to kryptonite, pink kryptonite, he's gay.
He started crushing on Jimmy Olsen.
takes
And
takes
I
away
wanna
pink
I wanna
kryptonite.
unsee
I
that.
cannot be gay anymore.
So
You
yeah,
heard
that was
it,
a more
Superman is
controversial time for
technically
DC Comics.
LGBT, technically.
Yeah.
I can already hear the anchor from over here.
So
If I recall, there's probably a comic with him being gay right now, but
Yes.
doesn't matter.
no, it's not him. It's one of his kids.
It's a Superman. It's a
It was
Superman.
Superman. It's okay. They made a Wonder Woman that's trans.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
How did that one go?
Either way, Superman.
I don't know. I never
There's
read
a
it.
version where Steve Trevor becomes a black guy.
So,
There's a
And
comic
no,
about Star
and
Wars.
funnily enough, there's no other significance to that.
so Superman?
Yeah, I want to say that's the first time I realized that was a kind of trope, but I think that it was done very well.
Superman is done very well when you ignore the movies.
Not in the movies. Not in the movies.
Batman
Yes,
versus
it-
Superman, anyone?
Well, early
Okay,
movies
I will.
better.
I will give credit. Early Superman
Yes.
movies
Those are
did
good. Those are
okay.
alright. They're alright.
I do also, before we move
Before
on
they
to
tried to make
Zeus,
him angsty.
And before
Before-
Superman 4.
before we move on to Zeus, I do want to call out one of the greatest fight scenes in cinema, as well as the greatest Batman fight scene in cinema from Batman vs Superman.
No.
The scene from
Say it.
The movie's terrible.
Batman vs Superman, terrible movie. Batman versus all those guys at the oh god, what was it? It was like some kind of plant where they had I think it was his mom hostage. Batman just jumps in, and that fight scene is fucking phenomenal. It's like the one very clean patch of road on a road that the city has just ignored for your entire lifetime. I want to show you guys that fight scene. It's actually really good, and is like the
Okay.
one great part about the movie.
So,
Yeah, but-
as we are talking about this, can I just make one really funny observation about that movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys know Injustice, the fighting game.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On the map for like the Wayne Manor, literally it rips the transition sequences out of Batman v Superman. Or it was the other way. It might have been the other way around. Whichever one came first, the other literally copied verbatim. They are literally the exact same.
Nice.
I think it might have been Injustice came out first, which makes it even funnier.
Nice.
I want to say Injustice came out first.
I think it was Injustice. I'm gonna Google it.
I'm currently Googling it.
Yeah, I'll Google when Batman v Superman was.
Injustice came out. Gods Among Us came out. I want to say it was 2010.
2013.
No, 2013. 2013. I was out of high
That's
school.
still before Batman v Superman 2016.
Yeah.
Nice.
Another reason to hate that movie.
All right, Mr. Jeebus Man.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder, you unoriginal
Oh.
fuck.
They literally
like-
ripped. They literally ripped the half of that fight from the transitions of that map.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mr.
I bet you they base their look. I bet you that literally Zack Snyder goes, "Hey, you want to go play Injustice with me?" And then literally, freaking Batman versus Superman was born.
It's hilarious because me and Bill were watching it and we were just like, "This is just Injustice."
Literally, he thinks that Joker's not dead and Superman's not the same.
So, Mr. Jeebus Man, when was the first time you had encountered the Mary Sue archetype and recognized the archetype?
I can't remember at the top of my head, but
I've
when
only
I
just recently discovered what it is.
I
so-
just recently discovered it like about 2 hours ago.
You
Is
don't
there-
have
is there
to
a
know
character
what
that
it
you-
was Mary Sue.
Yeah.
You have to know it was that type of character.
You know,
Like
you
Reed
brought up
said.
a good point earlier. There was a character you said Jimmy Neutron.
Okay, Samarra, can you walk back to your mic and say that again?
I'm
You
here.
keep getting
Can you hear
really
me?
far away from your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay.
why.
You said. Sorry, I'm baking. You
Ah.
said at the time, you said Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah.
Technically, that's I would say he's a
I
Mary
can
Sue.
I can see it.
Jimmy
Literally.
Neutron,
Yeah.
boy genius.
I was just gonna say some animes. Now I'm like, oh, let me go
You
to my
can do
playlist of
anything.
animes.
It's up to you, man. You pick.
Well, I don't know. Does Overlord count? I don't know if it counts.
I don't know about
I
Overlord.
would say a bit of column A, a bit of column B.
Cause
He's
He's
like
extremely powerful, but he's also very well fleshed out. He's more like he's on the lines of like Superman.
Sometimes
Extremely
he gets really
powerful.
good bouts of luck and things just kind of work for him, but
Yeah.
it is established that this is not always the case. Like there are times where things do not go the way he had hoped.
It's also a matter of his isn't just a matter of being overpowered. It's also a matter of him actually like coming up with plans and adapting to when things go wrong.
Yes.
So I would say no, he is not a Mary Sue.
Got it. Okay.
I think the only argument you can make from being a Mary Sue is how overwhelmingly powerful he is, but that's it.
That's just
Even-
isekai anime,
Yeah.
which has
To
a
be
lot
fair,
of Mary Sues.
He
but
was like
he's
max
not.
level in the game he came from, so.
He was the guild master.
By the way,
I don't know if
Yeah.
you've ever played an MMO, boys, but max level really do hit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yes.
literally.
Especially when you go back to level 1 areas.
Oh yeah.
And they just go
Which
in
is
there
basically the plot.
first timers. They go in there bullying first timers and just beat the shit out of them.
So
Get
yeah,
good.
I also that does remind me. For some odd goddamn reason, Sao counts as an isekai. It's
It is an
classified.
isekai.
Count
In
as
fact,
as
it was
why is
technically
it-
one of the progenitors of the genre.
I guess.
No, it's not. It is not.
I said one of.
I can
Nope,
I can
nope,
understand the
nope. In terms of
confusion, but I
popularity.
don't think it
Nope,
counts.
it's
You
not
guys
even
want
an
to know the
isekai.
series that brought isekai to the map? One of the series? Hack. Hack was one of the series that brought it.
What you saying, guys?
Your
Javi,
mom.
Hack.
Your mom.
Translation.
Your mom.
Hack.
Hack.
Cat.
Hack.
Heck?
You know, not hack.
Heck?
Hack. I
Pat.
hate you. Hack.
Heck.
Hack.code/whatever it's called. That was one of the very first isekais I ever heard of. So I think that, honestly, looking back, I think that was one of the very first isekais.
P-A-C-K.
There's a lot.
Pack.
Leave me alone.
I seriously have no idea what you're saying.
She's saying dot hack.
Oh, hack. Dot hack. Like dot hack sign.
Yes.
Beating hacker at his games. I'm sorry.
God,
Can y'all not hear me?
I know we can hear you.
No, we
I
can't
can
hear you.
now.
Okay.
I don't know what it was. I was hearing pack. I swear.
No, it's hack.code
Dot
or
hacks,
whatever it's called.
dot hack code, dot hack sign, and all of them.
Yeah, they were one of the very first isekais. There's a lot of them, but I don't
Me
know.
and Crème heard cack.
Jebus, you haven't answered the
No, I
question.
was
What was
just
the very
making a
first?
joke.
Oh.
Right.
Well, I was gonna just say Overlord or Bufuri is the I don't want to get hurt, so I max out my defense or something like that. But I don't know if those two count. It's just I
I
just
see
barely.
that, but that's more of a comedy than anything else, so it's
Yeah,
It's
not.
also the
is.
factor of those are relatively recent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Well,
when I
yeah.
just heard of what you guys were like, oh, let me think of some, and I'm like, oh, those two, that, I guess, and then like, and
The
then
earliest
I
thing
fully
you've
didn't
seen
understand
that
what
you
it
now
was.
recognize as a as a Mary Sue.
I can't think on the top of my head.
Hmm.
Well, I
I
guess
mean,
like
again,
Timmy Turner,
if you
Jimmy
want to go for
Neutron.
Jimmy Neutron, I would say that's fair.
That's a fair one.
Timmy Turner just
yeah.
full on just stopped his age, everyone's age, and was going on for 50
Alright,
years.
guys. The first Mary Sues that Jesus recognized were Jimmy Neutron and Timmy Turner.
Timmy
Confirmed.
Turner is only
Cotton
kind of
picking.
debatable in the earlier episodes because he actually learned from things, but after that, I would say yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
after the
you know what?
directors left.
If you really want to marry Sue,
Heavy said Dora is a Mary.
my God, if you really want to marry
Take
Sue
away her
character
Every
back. She's
language.
almost Hispanic girl.
if you really want to marry Sue character from that series from Fairly Odd Parents, Chloe,
Chloe, yeah.
100% marry Sue. Everything went her way.
Why did she even need fairy godparents?
She didn't. That's the thing, and she had to share Timmy's fairies.
Which makes no sense. I never watched the new series. My
don't
goddaughter
recommend
put it on one time, and it was like, I was like, oh, I love Fairly Odd Parents. She's like, let's watch it together. I really like
There's
it
a
too. And then I
dog.
watched it. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah,
This is not Fairly
I
Odd
would say that
Parents.
it really started going south when they introduced Sparky the dog.
Yeah, there's a
Who the
fairy
hell is
dog.
Sparky the dog?
It's a fairy dog.
Fairy dog.
Also kind of a
What?
Mary Sue because he would do all kinds of stupid shit and never get blamed for it.
He had like a tail that was a wand, I think, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember. It's a haze dream.
What?
It's
The
not
last
bad.
time, the last time I watched Fairly Odd Parents, Wanda and Cosmo had a baby, and Cosmo
Oof.
carried the baby, and I was just kind of
That was
confused.
hilarious.
Now there's a
People were
dog.
like, clearly she cheated, but but he had the baby.
It's like clearly she cheated. No, she
No.
She had the baby.
It's like clearly she cheated. No, it couldn't be the possible because Cosmo carried the baby.
Cosmo.
But
Somebody tried to
Cosmo
make
cheated.
make a joke with like, well, I guess Cosmo's a trans man. I'm like, you better shut up right now. You are not ruining
Juanchissimo.
Fairly Odd Parents. Nope, nope.
Juanchissimo was the father.
Oh my god.
So, okay,
So
Samara, who was the
I
first
love
Mary
that
Sue
show.
you recognized?
you watch Fairly Odd Parents up until if you stop watching right as the season with Sparky comes in, it's a great show.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Okay.
stopped watching it with the baby. I don't even remember what the baby's called.
Poof.
What is
Poof.
I said earlier.
Oof.
The episodes of Poof are
Poof.
nice. They're not that bad. Poof.
Poof?
Poof. Okay. Poof.
Anyway, okay, moving on. Poof is a Mary Sue.
Oh, I just
Actually, no.
remembered the
He
live
actually did
action
learn
one.
some things.
But
I
okay,
remember in the
so
live action
The
one.
only
Every-
episode I would say that Poof seems like a Mary Sue is when Foop is in, which is anti-Poof.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
like
because
Anti-Poof.
anti-Poof
was
is
great too.
hilarious.
Just a deep voice.
Oh, I think honestly, actually, I think that was the last episode I ever saw of Fairly Odd Parents was Anti-Poof.
Oh god. Yeah. I mean that's a good part to stop at.
So that's fair.
Yeah. Anyway, so my very first Mary Sue, and I know you guys are all gonna agree on me on this. I did not know what they were at the time, but looking back as an adult, I look back and I'm like, oh my god, that's a Mary Sue. I am talking about the one, the only, Mario.
Ah.
Hello, Mario.
It's
Oh my
me,
god.
Mario.
Oh my
Think
god.
about it. He's a plumber. He's a plumber. He's a doctor. He smashes, but he's also an exterminator because he takes out little green turtles, or giant green turtles. He's
like-
trying to rescue a
I'm
princess.
genuinely thinking about this. Oh my
He's an animal
god.
abuser that gets away with it.
It's a valid argument. What the fuck?
I'm about to make your world even crazier. Guess who's not a Mary Sue in that series?
Luigi.
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 Yeah, Luigi's actually like he's got faults, but he actually comes out on top in the end, which is good.
So
Which is a
I'm
nice
gonna make
thought.
So I'm gonna talk about one of my favorite games of all time, which is the moment I realized that I liked Luigi better than Mario,
Mm-hmm.
and that was
Luigi's
a little
Mansion.
something called Luigi's Mansion. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Three
I
games.
would like to make
all
one
great.
quick distinction. Luigi is a Mary Sue only in the Mario Party games.
It doesn't count.
Because he
Mario
doesn't
Party
do
games aren't canon,
anything
but
and
yeah.
wins anyway.
They're not canon because Bowser
Luigi
and
doesn't move and wins anyway.
Birdo comes in, and Birdo's dead, y'all. Like I don't know, like I don't mean to mess with you, but Birdo died, man. I threw him in the lava or her or whatever Birdo is.
Birdo is a dude.
Is it a dude? I'm pretty sure it
Birdo
was
is a dude.
Okay, but yeah. So looking back as a kid, I was tied when I was thinking about it. So there was two characters in particular I was thinking of, but the first one that I feel like was the most significant is Mario, because if you take everything away from Mario, he's just a plumber in the sewers. At least like with Luigi, if you took everything away from Luigi, which there's not a lot to take away, but he's still a character. Like he's scared, he's anxious, he embodies my soul, and like
He
I
loves his
don't know.
brother.
He loves his
Meanwhile,
brother, even though his
Mario
brother
acts
obviously
like Luigi doesn't exist.
exactly. And then the other character I was gonna say, who's also kind of a Mary Sue, but like I said, it depends on your opinion, is Link from Legend of Zelda. Those were the two first Mary
Mhm.
Sues I ever realized.
I feel
Literally.
like Link is just a Mary Sue more on the factor of like he was never expanded on as a character because he was meant to be a vessel for the player.
Yeah, but Mario wasn't meant to be a vessel for the player.
Mario was his
was
own
just
person.
Mario. Mario was his own person, so that's the reason why I chose Mario over Link, because Link at the end of the day was just Avatar, who later became a character. So I don't think that really counts. Whereas
Plus, Link has
Mario
failed a couple times.
and Link
There's
has
an
failed.
entire
And
timeline dedicated to his failure.
Oh
bro,
yeah. He
it's
started
dark,
off with a failure. Interestingly enough, when you think about it,
no,
he
he
defeated
did.
Demise, but not before he started a curse.
Ash Ketchum's not in Mary Sue, is he?
Yes.
Ash Ketchum is not a Mary Sue. Absolutely,
Mary
she
Sue?
is not. A
He's
Mary
not.
Sue.
He's not a Mary Sue, but he is a Mary Sue.
Exactly.
I would.
That's exactly
He-
what we're talking about here.
Hey,
So,
I mean, not anybody can come back from being stoned to death, so
not
Yeah.
everybody
I would
can
say
be a
Mary Sue.
child
Yeah, I love
forever.
when a Pokemon turns me into a fucking rock and I survive.
I will say one surprising thing is that despite how Ash is kind of a Mary Sue,
What
he
is
only
going on
recently
with
won
this
What the
his
time
first
fuck
game.
is
lapse?
going on?
What's happening with this time
What's
lapse?
I don't
happening?
know. When you think about it, his whole strategy should not work by logic of the Pokemon games at all.
No, I'm sorry. Wait, no. Fuck, I wanted you to play that again. That was so stupid.
I don't know how.
What
What did you
happened?
do?
So at the end of every time you do a thing in just close your tablet and open it again. See if that does it.
I'm hearing like a weird noise.
Wait, hit play. That's my mic. I can't fix that. But
It's all good. Just pretend it's not there. Just like
we fucking at the end of every like level, it does a like a quick replay of the level,
Here it is.
and
What's
it was
going
just
on?
like jumping back and forth. Yeah, check out the stream. Check out the stream
What
don't have
is
Twitch.
happening?
on Twitch. It's
hang on. What the hell?
What is this? That log is like falling over and standing up.
Oh god, yeah, the logs are moving. Oh my god. I've
going
never
on?
seen that before.
The logs aren't moving anymore. No, these ones are. This one's not falling over. Oh, there it goes. Whoop, whoop, whoop,
So
whoop, whoop, whoop,
confused.
whoop. Okay, okay.
Now they're jigging side to side.
Okay. I'm gonna share my screen to you guys on Discord because you need to see this.
I think
Okay.
Wizard Wisconsin having a good time over there.
Yeah, he sure
It's
is.
beautiful.
It's beautiful. Okay, so
Sure.
I'm watching. I'm showing the stream now. Asus, Javi, Samarra, you guys need to see this.
You need to see this.
Okay, so
Observe our supreme power washing skills.
with the way the the replay works, it shows you the dirty and it starts to like go away as you clean it in the order that you cleaned it in. Jesus,
Right?
there you go. This is what this one came out as for some odd reason.
What?
I don't know.
Ju-
And look off to the right. Look at the logs. Look at the logs. Look at that
Just
one
They're
log.
wait for
shifting
It's
from-
standing up.
log
It's
starts
shifting
going
from
sideways.
reality.
Look at them.
It's shifting in different realities. One reality where you cleaned the house, and one you did.
What happened?
Yo, Nick. You remember that one Pokemon song that I told you I came up with a superhero for? Him power washing.
It didn't want to be cleaned. Okay. So back to the topic we were talking about. Mary fucking Sue's. Let's go ahead and start ending off this 3-hour video. It doesn't say
hell.
3-hour stream anymore. It's a 25-hour, 26-minute stream at the moment.
25 hour.
25-hour stream.
Yes, I'm never gonna do that.
Going on day 2.
But the
Day
3-hour
3
stream
of
we
me being
have, we're just gonna
surrounded
go
by
ahead.
these aura.
Let's just go ahead and talk about characters we like because
That are
why
Mary Sue.
not? Let's get rid of the stress of the Mary Sue.
Thank God.
Okay.
Co-host.
Okay.
You know who I like?
Who do you
that
like?
could be still keeping in the theme of characters that could be viewed as one but aren't. I like Aang from The Last Airbender.
Oh fuck
Oh,
yeah.
so good. Wait.
Has access to every form of.
But he's not a Mary Sue.
No, I'm
he's
not Shyamalan.
No,
We're
I'm
not
not
doing Mary
Shyamalan.
Sue's anymore.
Yeah, Samarra, my point is that he has access to everything, but he is still a good character. He is the
Traits are all
Avatar,
that shit.
able to bend all 4 elements, which, if written poorly, would make him a Mary Sue. But he genuinely does have to struggle and try and grow as a character to actually access that which he was born with.
Yes, he's a lot like Anakin in that sense. Born with all this power, but still needs to train to be good at it.
Looking
Ah,
at you, Ray.
yeah, looking at you, Ray.
But yeah, that's it.
All right,
Good boy.
Javi?
Fuck.
You don't need to stick with similar to Mary Sue. I just wanted to because
Yeah, just a nice
Aang's a
character.
good boy.
Honestly, I'm gonna say it's not my favorite character, but it is definitely a good character, and I'm gonna say that this is still a good character despite the tendencies of Mary Sue, which I know I've talked about in a fuck ton now. But I'm gonna still say Superman. You already know the reasons why. I'm not gonna elaborate more because that'll just eat up more time, and it's stuff it's already been said.
Exactly. All right,
Mr. Jebus man. A crazy Mr. Loud Jebus Cross.
It'll have to be the one and only your mom. Um, no.
I
I
can't
like,
believe your favorite character
My
is
God.
my mom.
yeah.
My
I
mom.
You know
Yeah, I
who
think
else is your favorite character?
Oh my God, it's
everyone
happening on this one
interrupting me
too.
now.
It's happening on this one too.
I think Toru. She's great. I like
Aw.
Toru.
Nice.
That she has to get used to
You
the
just want
whole
to eat her
human world
tail.
and stuff.
He just
Yeah.
You
like
just,
She's really
you just like
powerful.
Dragon Bait, be honest. I want one too.
he just likes dragon ladies, which
Mm-hmm.
all of us
For
can
good reason.
understand.
Dude,
And
I
next
would
up,
beg a Dragon
Samara.
Bait. I'm not gonna talk about Denji because
Samara, you are really far away from it. It's hard to hear you.
damn
Stop
it.
baking
Can you hear
and
me?
start
There
chatting.
you
Yeah.
are.
Shut up. This pumpkin bread's not gonna make itself. I think I'm not gonna talk about Denji because I already talked about Denji. So I think the character I want to still say like it's still maybe considered a Mary Sue, but I like absolutely have a special place in my heart. And I think like at the end of the day, like or could edge towards it. I'm gonna say it when we were talking about earlier, which was Rimuru from that one time I got reincarnated into a slime. Because at the end
Indeed.
of the day, yeah, he could be kind of maybe seen as a Mary Sue, but at the end of the day, he's also like he has some character development, and
He's got
he
his own struggle.
does. Yeah, he struggles with the fact that he's slowly losing a bit of his humanity. It's the same thing that happens to Ainz in Overlord. Is these characters who originally were human are now in a different world, and they no longer think like they're human, but they want to still retain a semblance of their humanity. And I think the reason I like Overlord and that one time is because it's kind of like two opposites of the same coin. So you have Ainz over here who doesn't care about his humanity. He's like, I'm good. I didn't really have anything, back then. I just want to take over the world and see if there's anybody else that I was friends with that's still alive in this world or whatever.
And to protect
Whereas
those that are close to him at all cost. At the expense of
exactly,
others.
he doesn't care about anybody else. Whereas you have Rimuru, who's kind of the opposite of that, who's like,
I
I
am
want to
going to be
bring
pacifist at all costs.
well, until he murdered a bunch of people and became a demon
Mm-hmm.
lord. But that's a whole other thing. They deserved it
That
because
was him dipping into being like Ainz for a little bit.
You
exactly.
know what?
But
I'm
they
not
also
gonna
killed Shion.
question that.
No, but they killed Shion, and Shion was my favorite character, so I was very upset. So I was okay. I was like, yeah, fuck him up, Rimuru. But I
They
mean,
did
at the end
strike
of the day,
first.
they did strike first. But at the end of the day, it's kind of interesting because both those characters could be seen in a way as kind of Mary Sue, but they do develop still. But they go in two opposite directions. Whereas I just doesn't care about his humanity or other people around him besides the people he cherishes. Whereas Rimuru, on the other hand, wants to retain his humanity, and if anything, wants everybody to be kind of like the city he left behind, and as actually teaching them to be humane. And granted, they're both overlords in their own sense, but at least they do it in two different ways. So yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And
So
I'm baking this pumpkin bread.
after that, I'm gonna go ahead and give a special shout out to Heavy over here, Katra from Shira.
Yeah.
Actually,
10 out of 10.
I am slightly bothered that
I
you
would
think-
I would slay a Shira like so. I'm sorry, but oh man,
It's great.
I like Cat
Absolutely.
Movie so much.
Now, to end off this stream with me, I'm gonna go
Trap is
ahead
the
and
best.
not
I
say
don't
a
know what you're
character.
talking
I'm
about.
just gonna go ahead and say what I wanted to say. What I was at work mouthing to myself, like, start the stream like this, start the stream like that. This is gonna stem from Javi's comment asking if I got the idea from Overly Sarcastic Productions. Absolutely amazing YouTube channel. Please go check them out. They are.
I feel
I
like you
take a
did.
lot of inspiration from them. This is actually not based on Overly Sarcastic Production. I just wanted
He
to
did
do.
answer you. You just weren't here to
Yeah.
hear it.
So
Ah, okay.
I do take a lot of inspiration from them, but I didn't get the whole talk about Mary Sue's idea from them. But I
Oh
did
no, I
want to
was talking about the
start
opening specifically.
talking about. Yeah, the opening I did is gonna be mentioning Overly Sarcastic Production, specifically Red with her Trope Talk series, because I did
Yeah.
want to also talk about other archetypes before I get into the Mary Sue. And the other archetypes, there is the hero, who is basically Superman is the hero, but Superman is also the powerhouse, and the powerhouse role also falls onto the Hulk. There's also my personal favorite character archetype, purely by its name, Crouching Moron Hidden Badass.
That's fucking great.
I'll tell you guys about that one later. But then
Nice
there's
reference
also
too.
yes, I love Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Now, another character archetype that Over the
That one.
Sarcastic Production hasn't covered, that I haven't actually seen named outside of a negative quality in Shadowrun, was actually falls to a character named Wayne McCullough from, well, Wayne, an Avenging Angel. Ah,
Ooh.
I'll
Very good character type.
oh yeah. Well, I think we'll do like a trope talk on character archetypes later. It's just the Mary
Be fun.
Sue needed its own video, its own stream, its own thing
Because
because
it's that bad.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you saw this
Better
turn
to get
into a
this out of the way
3-hour
sooner.
stream where we're bringing up, where we're tangenting and we're just like hating on so
I
much
mean, we
shit.
always tangent.
We always tangent, but we hated on things so much more than we have in other videos. Dear God, I swear, some of you guys were pissed off during this stream.
Oh, I
To be
was
fair,
100%
I'm so
sometimes when I
sorry.
sound pissed off, I'm not genuinely pissed off.
Oh, I couldn't tell the
Some
difference with all of you.
some characters do genuinely piss me off because I am a writer and I understand how much depth goes into this shit and how hard it is to actually like make good characters. And when I
Same
see
here.
deliberately no effort being put in, like not even an attempt, I can't. That's just why. If there's at least an attempt made, I'll be like, okay, well, yeah, they tried, but they just didn't get, they missed the mark, and that's fine. But if there's no attempt whatsoever, they're just throwing shit out there and hoping it goes well.
Hoping to
That's
make
just,
money.
yeah,
Yep.
that's just
So,
no.
remember, guys, music is nothing like movies. If you can't do what Lil Darky did and make something pretty damn good out of no effort, you need to put in effort to write a character. Thank you for being a part of this Podwash Powercast. Let's go ahead and get a sound off from everyone here. 3, 2, 1. Mary Sue.
Bye
Mary
bye.
Sue!
Mary
Mary
Sue!
Sue.
Bye
Hey, y'all
bye,
take
Daddy
care,
Quit.
stay safe, and hopefully I'll see you Starside.
Peace out, broskies.
I'm just existing.